issue, but I'm having an issue. Oh, I want to turn that light off also. Because darkness in this room. Well, that didn't really do shit, so there you go. There's always this one. There we go. So the light's beaming down on me. We are live on mine. Yes.
Yep, we're live over here too.
All right.
And I'm always live, so it doesn't matter.
Better to be alive. Always better to be alive. All right, we might as well get started then. Hello and welcome to the Supreme Council of the Master Geeks Lodge. My name is Bill Kelly, Hornswoggle the Great. I am one of your many council members here tonight for the podcast, and with me I have
Rob Marsden, also known as Jingo the Fool. I am the only game master at the Ship of Fools, which makes me the lead game master. I'm also
by default
an amateur gastronomer, and I inflict my magic on other people from time to time. And tonight I'm here, self-appointed Master Geek.
Fantastic.
And I am Kris Newton, Mind, and former book writer, now novelist, and just an all-around geek.
Right on.
Hey, Sven, welcome aboard.
Hello, welcome.
Sven is one of my longtime game masters. I play in his stream games on Sunday nights. He is a Starfinder game master extraordinaire.
Right on. Welcome. Thank you for joining us.
He is the Jedi master of Starfinder game masters.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. So if he runs the game, you'll get to play then.
Yes, I do. I do get to play when he runs it every other Sunday.
That's awesome.
Over see, I don't think my shout outs work right. Otherwise I'd shout him out. But Svenster 77.
Well, congratulations.
So yeah. Go follow him. You'll enjoy it.
77. Oh, yeah. Hey.
Svenster. Svenster. Yes.
77 was a good year.
Yeah.
I remember it well. So did the both of you. Did I bring?
Yes.
I brought water.
I think my sister was born that year.
As was mine. We lived in. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say I want to show something off that my daughter found for me.
Joe Cool. He's the coolest guy around.
It is Joe Cool. It is my very own Joe Cool.
I love the peanuts.
Coffee mug.
The best
peanuts.
part
I'm a peanuts nut, and Joe Cool is the Joe Coolest. I even have a Joe Cool T-shirt.
Do you really? The best part about the peanuts is that Snoopy had so many secret identities. If you think about it, he was the Great Pumpkin.
Mayonnaise.
He was the pilot against the Red Baron. He
was the Sopwith Camel, the World War I ace. He was the Vulture. He was the lawyer.
So he had
many different
Cousin Spike,
who was actually his brother.
In Needles,
and he had
Arizona.
Belle, who was his sister.
Oh my god!
The peanuts.
I miss classic peanuts.
The best is the Thanksgiving Day special because it's one of the few times that Marcy stands up to Peppermint Patty because Peppermint Patty her personality just kind of dominates their friendship dynamic.
She tends to steamroll everybody.
Yeah, she does.
You're holding my hand, Chuck. That was always so. And he's like, "What? Oh, I'm sorry." So, quick, let me do the days of the year because why not? And Rob's not here to give us a cigar of the evening, so that's his loss.
I was looking at that. I noticed that right at the top of the page, Today is National Chocolate Cake Day.
Chocolate cake.
Chocolate cake.
That is great. Give us the chocolate cake. Oh, chocolate
It's
cake.
also National Geographic Day.
Which is an amazing magazine. Not just
When I lived with my grandparents up in Minnesota, my grandfather had like 15, 20 years of National Geographic magazine.
wow, they're probably worth money.
Today is also
like
Thomas Crapper Day.
God bless him.
So drop one for the crapper.
Did that this morning. Anyway, yeah, that's the Tom. Without him, no toilets. Up Hellia Day. I don't know what the hell that is. And National Plan for Vacation Day. Vacation. I am unfamiliar with this term. Shetland
no clue.
Islands. Yeah. Vikings. Okay.
We're going to give honorable mention to a couple of tomorrow's international days because we won't be on tomorrow. I'm looking. Tomorrow will be National Kazoo Day.
Ooh.
We all need kazoos.
International Lego Day.
Yee. Blueberry pancakes.
Yes, Blueberry Pancake Day.
Data privacy.
Blueberry pancakes are my favorite kind of blueberry pancakes.
I like them the most of all of the ones that I like the most.
As comes from my saying, pork is my favorite kind of pork.
Yes. My favorite saying the last 10 years is probably, it's been a long month this week. It really has.
It was.
It's only Tuesday.
Long week the last 2 days.
It's only Tuesday. What? So yes, we'll have to have a debate later on whether or not Cupid can beat up Baby New Year. But I want to do it D&D style. So Cupid would be a Solar, and Baby New Year would be... If you go by the Rankin and Bass, Rudolph's Shiny New Year, the New Year, Baby New Years, they're immortals like the Highlander. They're all just hanging out on their own island for hundreds of years with a whole bunch of people.
Until their turn comes.
Yeah. That's just...
I'm telling you, Cupid does it.
You think Cupid does it? He's got that ranged attack. I mean, what does Baby New Year have?
Well, that would be it. You'd have to outfit them both with an arsenal. An arsenal.
He has a top hat, and that's about the extent of it.
What's in the top hat, though? It's a bag of holding that holds, like, it's like Bugs Bunny's pocket. It could be anything in there.
No. What Baby Time would have is the hourglass that, stop time. I'll stop time. I'll move over here, and your arrow missed because I stopped time and moved out of the way.
Okay, hold on. If you're adding time to it, then essentially Baby New Year's are vessels for Father Time, which would be the god of time. So then we're going to amp up
it's
Cupid.
Basically, it's the avatar of time that is reborn every year, I guess.
That's heavy, but I like that story. That's good. We're getting real deep on this. I just wanted it to be this funny, midgets fighting. But what is Cupid? Cupid is a Solar of Eros and Aphrodite, which would make him either a Solar or a demigod. So he would have those capabilities, those properties. He would be able to cast spells.
Was it in the original DT and Demigods from TSR, the very first one that had Cthulhu?
It does. I have a copy of that book.
Scott does. I've seen it like once.
I had one. Never realized what it was, back in the day as Dungeons & Dragons book, and now it's fucking thousands of dollars.
Mine is not in perfect condition. The guy that gave it to me before he gave it to me decided he liked the picture of Thor fighting the dragon, the world serpent, so much that he stole that page out of it, and that page is missing.
Soul.
So it's in fair condition.
It's in great condition, other than
Not
it's
missing a
that
page if you want to sell it.
I'm missing one page.
But it's got all of the pages, and there's some interesting history behind that. There were two things in that they ended up having to republish it for.
Cthulhu was one, right? Cthulhu was one of them.
Well, Cthulhu was one of them, but not really. It was the Nehwan mythos, the Fafhrd and the Grey Mouser stuff, and it was the Lord of the Rings stuff.
But they...
I don't even think they included the Lord of the Rings stuff. But with the Cthulhu stuff, they had permission to use this stuff. But right about the same time, Chaosium came out with their role-playing game, Call of Cthulhu, and they thought, we could fight it in court, but we've already got to republish this book and take other things out, so we're just going to go ahead and take that out too, and avoid. There was never any copyright strikes or any legal maneuvers against them to make them do that. They just decided to give it up to another role-playing game.
I would
probably because the people over at Chaosium were contemporaries of Gygax and them, Steve Perrin and such.
It was probably more of a gimme, and it was probably more of a, if we don't do something about this, this could possibly happen. I'm just saying this is your editor, and Gygax and the rest of the team were probably like, you know what? Like you said, they were contemporaries. Let's just give it to them. We've got so much other shit. Do we really need to,
to add Cthulhu?
Well, especially when that whole game is based on Cthulhu. And how many things could we name in the mythos and in every... Like, Illithids. Illithids are just a straight-up Lovecraftian nightmare. I mean, everything about them is terror and Lovecraft.
Yes, it's...
So, that kind of is a leftover, if you would, if I may be so bold, to say that is the greatest leftover that D&D held on to from any kind of Lovecraft. Not to say, because you can make...
there's all kinds of existential dread type Lovecraftian monsters. Just nothing that is specifically copyrighted or part of the works of Lovecraft, even though they are public domain now.
Wings, tentacles, giant gaping maw with teeth. That's Lovecraft. That's the...
all of it, yeah.
Crazy,
Because his, I have read and reread Lovecraft thoroughly. I'm quite demented.
I have to sit down.
I keep a copy of all of his stuff on my Kindle on my phone so that I can read it whenever I want.
Wow.
I also keep a copy of Dr. Seuss's Fox and Socks on my phone. Because it is when I was in radio school, that book was one of our vocal exercises.
Well done.
Because it's a whole book of tongue twisters. The whole book is just tongue twisters.
That's what I love about...
We'll have to try reading some of those on air sometime.
Yeah, in different accents. And if we'll have to do like we could do like Hangman, except you have to read the thing. Okay, Scottish. Okay, now Southern African. Okay, now... No, Detroit. No. You're too northern. You're too southern.
I prefer Pop on Pop personally, but that's just me.
You're doing what?
On Pop.
Pop. Hop on Pop is
Pop
good.
On Pop.
Yes. Sorry. Took me a second. They're all good.
Big blue bear, blue ball, beautiful baboon.
Big. Go dog, go. All of the Dr. Seuss are. They're one of the more fun groups of books to read to your toddlers, to your very small children. Yeah,
and that's where I really got good at voices because I do it in voices.
Oh my God, that is so true.
Reading the Green Eggs and Ham when you get to the point where they're underwater.
I do not like them, Sam. Okay, read it now, but Christopher Walken has to be the... I do not like eggs. No. to pick different actors to do. Okay, now be the other guy, but he has to be John Malkovich. Would you like them in?
One of my favorite John Malkovich roles, and was a Coen Brothers movie called Burn After Reading. Have you seen it? It's
No,
about
but it looked
a couple
really
of
good.
idiots played by Frances McDormand and Brad Pitt who find this basically a burned CD, and they think it's like all these government secrets. So of course they try to sell it to the Russians.
Aren't they workers in a store or something?
No, they work at a gym.
Oh, okay.
They're gym rats, and Brad Pitt plays a complete moron.
Brad Pitt is up there with Sam Rockwell and so many others that are just like,
he can do anything.
You want him to be a bad actor, but he's actually really good.
He's so good, but yeah, but the movie was, it was a bit strange. We went and saw it in the theaters, and it has a lot of people in it, but basically it turns out that this CD they're trying to sell, this government secrets, is actually the memoirs of a CIA analyst, John Malkovich.
Oh boy.
And yeah, if you haven't seen the movie, I've only got to say he closes the movie. He gets the final scene.
Yeah.
And you have to go see the movie. Yes, he gets the final scene where, throughout this movie, people have been messing with him and messing with him and messing with him, and he finally snaps.
That's awesome.
But I will say that the best way to describe this movie is about the first half of the movie. You're wondering what's going on because it's random. It's all over the place. It's kind of not moving forward. Then you get to the second half of the movie and you realize that the first half of the movie was setting up all of the jokes in the second half of the movie.
Well
and
played.
so if you can make it to the second half of the movie, it all pays off hilariously.
Gotcha. No, I'm down for that. I love a good, if it's well done, I love a good theatrical experiment. But what is the first
the
movie?
one Coen Brothers movie I haven't seen is Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
That is, Iliad and the Odyssey.
I want
the Odyssey.
Yeah, I want to see it, but I'm one of those people that if I come on a movie on TV or whatever and it's already started, I keep moving. If I don't see it from the beginning, I don't want to see it.
I agree with you 100%. It's probably one of the best musicals made in the last 15, 20 years. Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou?
Oh, don't let the wicked people hear you say that, or the Hamilton people hear you.
I like Hamilton. I'm a big musical person, but Hamilton is a Broadway play. It's not a musical.
That's what I heard.
There's a difference.
There's always going to be a song in a play, but a play and a musical.
It's a Broadway. It's a Broadway musical.
A musical,
it's a theatrical musical.
Yeah, it's
because the entire thing is in song.
Yeah,
very little of the story is narration.
I'm a huge fan.
So it is a musical, but
go ahead. Sorry,
it's not a movie musical. There's a difference.
I'm a big fan of Alexander Hamilton. I just haven't seen the theatrical musical made of him, but I have read a lot about his life. Because, holy crap, talk about one of the most amazing figures from forever and a long time ago. But for Brad Pitt, our introduction to him is Thelma and Louise. And you're like, okay, all right. And then he's in True Romance, and you're like, well, he's playing a stoner. And then he's in Cool World at that point.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. I guess he was just there for name recognition. Cool World was kind of disappointing to me. It was fun, but
Cool World was fun, like Monkey Bone was fun. Don't think about it. Don't put too much into it. Just enjoy the cartoon. Like everyone was mad about R.I.P.D. Rest in Peace Division with the.
I love that movie.
I have not seen that.
It's
love that movie.
Fun. It's fun like Raiders of the Lost Ark, and people just eviscerated it on YouTube and online because, Oh, well, it's campy, and it's based on a comic book. Just enjoy the movie. Oh, my God.
Right?
Yes.
And they made a sequel to it, and...
They made a sequel to it. It was great.
Yeah, it was a movie.
It was a
We should
movie.
talk about sequels that never should have been made.
It was a sequel prequel. Yeah. It was another... It's on that list. You only made this because this had a minimal success at the box office.
A sequel. Let's coin a new word here. A sprequel.
A sprequel. Oh, I like that one. That's good. I like coining a new phrase. But
Like the second
Yeah.
set of Star Wars movies. They're sprequels.
well, from living in the 80s, really John Malkovich started to gain momentum with Dangerous Liaisons because he was set opposite Michelle Pfeiffer. So, that's where he really began to shine because he was a character of charisma. The character he plays, he's not this, he's a royal. He's not on the battlefield. He's not missing an arm. He doesn't have all these fantastic battle stories. It's a court drama. I can't even remember it. It's been 40 years since I've seen it, but it was kind of what put him on the map because, now I got to look it up. Forgive me. He's a scientist and he builds an android that they're going to use to put into space. And the android looks exactly like him. And the android falls in love with the government liaison that's supposed to be overseeing the project. And at the very end of the movie, they switch because John Malkovich desperately wants to go into space, but his vision is so terrible he can't even use contacts. So at the very end, he switches place with the robot and he goes off into space, and the robot and the woman go off and live happily ever after. It's a cute little,
Can relate to that.
Surprised you guys haven't seen it. They played it non-stop on cable in the beginning. Daredevil.
I probably have seen it at some point, but
I still need to see Being John Malkovich. It's like every time I sat down to watch that movie, something happened and it was taken from me. What the hell is that movie called? Because this movie that I'm speaking of came around about the same time as, Jesus Christ, there's been a lot of movies, as Multiplicity. Winning the Loner. Say Goodnight, Gracie. Places of the Heart, that was a big movie for him. The Killing Fields was a big movie for him. He did Death of the Salesman, The Glass Menagerie. Empire of the Sun was, okay, that kind of put him, because Dangerous Liaison is a year later, and in between that he does Miles from Home, and he also played, boom, 92. I didn't see it until I borrowed it from work when I was working at Video Update, but he was in Of Mice and Men. He actually played Lenny. And this is like 20 years after they did the version with Randy Quaid, which Randy Quaid nailed the part of Lenny, but John does a really good job. But you don't think of John Malkovich being this giant hulk of a man with he could pull it off, and he does. Totally, but I've totally forgot that he was in that. He was in Alive, Light of Fire, King of Darkness. Mary Riley, that's right. He played
he's one
Dr.
of those
Jekyll.
people that you know his face, but you probably don't connect the face and the name a lot if you're only a casual movie person.
Making Mr. Right is the movie that I'm talking about, and it's what's her name. And Glenn Headley.
I think I did see that movie. I vaguely remember it.
Glenn Headley and Anne, what's her name? Because he makes...
Hathaway?
No, Magnuson. Brett Master, Laurie Metcalf's in it. Trying to look at other actors.
I might have seen that too then.
You got it, 87. I mean, it was a long time ago. A reclusive scientist, Jeff Peters, Malkovich, builds a robot, Ulysses, which looks exactly like himself and is set to go on a long-term space mission. Since the real scientist seems to lack all emotion, he is unable to program his lack of emotion into his automaton. And an eccentric woman he hired to educate the robot to human behavior. She ends up falling in love with a robot. Oh, I'm not going to read that. That's the entire synopsis of the movie. Sorry. You can look it up on IMDb, too. Making Mr. Right. That was the name of the movie. Because I remember, you know, you're flipping through channels on cable and you would see parts of it. So I don't think I ever saw the beginning of the movie, but I've seen the middle and the end probably 6 times because... Well, he's happy. He hates humanity and he gets to go into space. And the robot doesn't give a shit about space. He wants to be with the woman. Teach me about love. It's one of those movies.
There is, when I was in the hospital after my heart, and after I came out of the coma, there was one thing that was always, every time I seemed to have woken up, there was one thing playing, actually 2 movies. It was Catch Me If You Can.
I love that movie.
DiCaprio.
And the other one was a Law and Order TV movie. I'm assuming it was a TV movie where they go to Europe or they go to England. Was there ever a Law and Order episode where they go to England?
I did not see it. If there was, I've watched a lot of Law and Order. It's like right up there among my most favorite TV shows.
Yeah.
But only pure Law and Order, not Special Victims Unit, not Criminal Intent, not any of the offshoots. They're just not the same because they don't follow that formulaic. One half of the show is about the police and the other half of the show is about the trial. Dun, dun, which is what clicked, yes. And then, you know, the other, not to slight any of the other shows that came after, but they didn't follow that formula, and that formula was what made it for
what
me.
made it good.
Well, I want to think that it was the original Law and Order, but I might be, because like I said, I kept coming in and out of sleep after being in a coma for 2 weeks. You know, and I would catch.
You didn't even know what the hell was
Catch
going
Me If
on.
You Can and Law and Order. It was just like, it's that damn the noise, boom, 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 the Law and Order noise. Always.
I remember I was in the hospital back in 2010 for a couple of surgeries at the same time, and I remember in my hospital room there was a Leverage marathon going on for the entire 6 days I was there. I watched nothing else. And I actually ended up liking that show quite a bit.
I'll have to see that.
Did you ever watch it?
Never.
Leverage. What Leverage is about is a con man and an art thief played by Timothy Hutton. And what he does is he gets together a group of criminals, a thug, a hacker, a klepto, and he goes about basically stealing art back from other people and conning con men, and basically using his con man and criminal background and criminal contacts to actually do good. Leverage.
So kind of like the Equalizer, more like the original
kind of,
show, the Equalizer,
but, yeah,
not the Denzel
I want to
Washington.
say, they do things like steal art back from art thieves, and it was an interesting show. In that, you know, he was trying to redeem himself.
Yeah. I'm trying to get the black out of my
extent.
ledger, whatever Scarlett Johansson says for 2 movies.
Try to get the red out of my ledger.
I killed people. Well, that's what happens when you become an assassin. Yeah, that's the definition.
That man.
That's killing people. Okay, so I want to pre-apologize, like and subscribe. Thank you so much. Don't worry, we'll get to Patreon. We'll do all the things. I am not going to make the next couple Dungeons and Dragons games for February and March due to working at the Arizona Renaissance Festival. Oh, like I'm happy about it. You know, I don't want to miss playing, but on the other hand, Frenchie and Tatton, who are also they got the same gaming group in Tucson for 40 years. Well done. Standing ovation. Getting people around the table is the hardest part of gaming. Or getting them to Discord.
It is. That's why I run it as an open game. If you're going to miss the next couple, my suggestion is I think, especially since Antonio wants to use his place once or twice, I guess he's not going to be there long term, but he would like to use it. And he has
That's
friends
awesome.
that he would like to bring along for a one-shot, which is why I suggest doing that, because honestly, I think we are about at the limit for our regular game for people that we and you know we didn't have everybody even there the last time, but with everybody there, we're about at
You're like
at the limit.
12. You're like,
Yeah.
like 11 or 12.
And
But
Are we really that big?
you don't realize it when you're in the game, but yeah, think about it. Okay, for
I
there's
missed the
Rob,
last one.
his son, his granddaughter.
that's 3 generations of gamers right there.
That's 3 people. There's
You,
you're 4, Bill is 5, my son is 6, my daughter is 7,
Ed is
Ed
8.
is 8, Antonio is 9, Rob's friend, I forget his name,
Gary.
makes it 10, and then
You is 11.
Clay makes
Clay
it
makes
11.
it 11.
Mhm.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
So
We're like a
11
force
players.
to be reckoned with, I guess.
Yes, we are.
I haven't been in a game this big in about 25 years, and it just feels awesome. We can accomplish so much until we argue. What?
It's always been like 3 or 4 guys.
What? That was all muffled. What you just?
Your mic just dropped out on
It
us.
sounds like you have your hand over the microphone or a bag.
How about now?
Much better.
That's better.
Say all that you just said again, please. And
I said
action, go.
I've never been in a group this big.
Really?
I have.
Yeah. It's always been like 3 or 4 guys plus the dungeon master. Never been this big.
Your gaming libido just got a lot bigger. That's
What was
awesome.
this I heard
Oh.
about somebody suggesting Deadlands?
I was thinking either Deadlands or Deadlands is based on a game system called Savage Worlds, where the best way I could describe Savage Worlds is if D&D is your epic fantasy, your Lord of the Rings and such. Savage Worlds is your Saturday afternoon action movie.
Oh, okay.
It's all about over-the-top action and big cinematic scenes, and
Alan Quartermain's
Yeah.
The City of Law.
yes, we've done, and it's a generic system, which means that it fits everything. You name it, we've done it. We've done, just about every TV show. One of my favorites is I run an A-Team episode using Savage Worlds. And it has some special rules, like because it's the A-Team, automatic weapons, nobody ever gets shot unless it's a plot point. You shoot weapons, and the most thing people get rattled.
That's not fair.
How many people got shot in 6 seasons of A-Team?
I'm not going to answer that question. I know.
There may have been a few, but
Hail of bullets. There's B.A. Baracus running across. Like, he's dead, dude. Those are professionals. Only the A-Team scores hits. Everyone else
I think
misses.
Deadlands would be fun.
Did you say Cowboys versus Zombies? I've seen lots of books and flipped through one once, but never played it. Never
let me
ever.
explain the basic premise
Go
of
ahead.
Deadlands to see if I can, and I'm going to try to do it justice because I'm doing it from memory. And
Do you need mood
I'm
lighting?
old.
Should I? Oh, okay.
No.
Sorry.
One time, a long time ago, there were these beings called the Manitou, and they were evil, malevolent spirits.
Great.
And, they were a danger to the earth.
They sound real
So
fun.
a group of wise men of Native American ancestry gathered together and trapped and locked the Manitou away in another dimension, and then themselves went into the dimension and basically camped on the gate to keep the Manitou from getting out. And so for centuries, the Manitou were locked away from the world until the coming of white man to the Native America. And,
we destroy everything.
Yes.
Damn white man.
Those bastards. Oh, wait. Hold on.
And, there was a Native American gentleman whose family was wiped out in a conflict with another tribe that was, friendly to the white man.
Yeah.
And he went on a soul-searching journey, and he found the door to this other dimension where the ancestors guarded the gate, and in a fit of revenge, killed all the ancestors and threw the gates wide open. And the Manitou came back and started assimilating themselves into the now, Europeanized American culture. And they latched on to Christianity and manifested as the four horsemen of the apocalypse. So basically, the premise of Deadlands is somebody has opened a gate to hell, and the four horsemen are coming. And of course, the land is shattered. Abominations walk the earth. All of the legends have become true again. So there are vampires and zombies and all other sorts of supernatural horrors out there as the four horsemen of the apocalypse try to basically raise the dread level of the planet to where they can take over permanently and, throw the world into darkness. And
your modern day horror vampire movies, and not just like, Lost Boys, which that's 40 years old now. It's not very modern. Or Fright Night, or the original. But not that the one with David Tennant is good. But he's good in everything.
I love that movie. We went and saw it in 3D. But anyways, continue.
Nice.
And we'll come back around to that because I've got some things to say about it.
Okay. I really enjoy how much fun the Underworld series is. But out of all of them, yes, we could talk about her, Celine. As long as you want, in the leather. Anyway, but the best movie is The Rise of the Lycans because it's vampires versus werewolves, and it's not set in the modern day. It's set in swords and crossbows and shields and bucklers. It's not a guns movie, which, don't get me wrong, I enjoy previously stated guns movie. I'm not going to repeat it. But when you're playing Dungeons and Dragons as a youth, when you're introduced to it as early as I was in like the 3rd grade, or you get introduced to it in the 6th grade through either a teacher or an older student or a dad running a game at the school, and you play that way. But fighting vampires and werewolves and wraiths and all the underworlds, it's terrifying in Dungeons and Dragons. You don't have a grenade launcher or a missile launcher or napalm,
An automatic weapon.
Yeah. You've got a sword, and these things are faster than you, stronger than you. They have power that you don't, and that kind of sets the tone. Where it was, in the modern day, like in Blade, you can keep them at bay with an automatic weapon. Oh, it's not going to kill them, but it does fuck them up quite a bit. That's still bullets ripping through their flesh that they have to now drink more blood to repair the bones and ligaments and tendons and all that. So I've always gotten. I think my end closing is that from like Dracula Love at First Bite and the Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie, because the movie is fun. The television show is actually serious. Believe it or not, as campy and goofy, and
Oh yeah.
Paul Rubens, bless him, best death scene ever recorded on film. It was amazing. But, vampires are supposed to be this terrifying thing, and the fact that you have to go after them as cowboys.
I would say it's first off, there's a mentality to D&D that when you play other role-playing games, especially not ones based on a standard fantasy trope, that things don't work the way they do in D&D.
No, and
you don't go around plundering caves and chasing monsters. In a lot of role-playing games is basically you're going about your life and something pops up and now you have to deal with it.
Fair enough.
It is a lot different. With Deadlands, it's more like, I guess you could still run it as Monster of the Week. Every week you come into a new town and deal with, run it like Supernatural.
Yeah.
It's
I was just going to say that.
The difference, even in Supernatural, some of the regular people had, they could cast spells and do exorcisms and things. But in Deadlands, it's a full-on fantasy because you can play characters that have magic powers.
Really?
Yes.
No, don't get me. I'm jealous that you guys are going to play this while I'm out at Ren Fair trying to get people to buy stuff. But
we'll play it more.
Hopefully this will be a merger. We can all either play via like Discord or one of the other games and like include Tatton and Frenchie into our Mike and Mark into their crystal cast. That's them. That Mike came up with the idea to make dice look like crystals, and they're huge in Europe.
Am open to running a online game. Friday during the day would probably be the ideal if people were available. But yes.
Okay.
Right now, I run one on Thursday nights, and while it is open table, we've already got a fairly big crowd. Otherwise, I'd put it out there. Sven in my chat, he plays in it. All three of my adult children play in it, as well as a few other people.
Yeah. But Deadlands looks really, really interesting because, like you said, it's what year?
I think they put it about the 1880s.
Okay.
But there have been several iterations of it. As they come out with an updated version of Savage Worlds, they basically reboot and do. So there are different versions of it. So the lore might have changed slightly, but the basics is it's fantasy Western. Yeah. Fantasy Western horror.
We have people on the council that are gun people, gunsmiths. I am not, but I do know this because
I'm not really a gun person.
Oh, I love guns, but I am not.
I'm not against them, and I own firearms, but I'm not. What's the word my wife uses? I'm not ammosexual.
What?
He's not ammosexual.
My life doesn't revolve around my guns.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah, I'm not a gun nut.
That's funny. So you're what? Do you try to put your dick? Oh, never mind. Anyway, so hey, I'm not here to judge, but then again, I also really am. Deadlands looks neat to me because, well, it's the dial of time. If you dial the time back further, you're dealing. if you're going to do 1870 or earlier, you're dealing with Navy cap and ball. That would be a goddamn disaster because the Winchester repeating rifle.
I think it goes into the 1870s and 1880s.
Okay,
but you
good.
also have to remember that in the Deadlands, when whatever event happened, it also caused the emergence of this substance called ghost rock, which is kind of like a super coal. It gives off a massive amount of energy, and it can be used to fuel weird science technology.
Ooh, I like the sound of this. Yeah, I would totally want to be a tinker in that game. A tinker kind of. Well, I always
right?
Well, yeah. Some kind of, what is it? What do they call it in D&D
They have
now?
mad scientist, artificer. No, they have mad scientists. Mad scientist is a thing in this. In fact, when I played in it, I played a mad scientist.
Mad scientist
based on Professor Harold Hill.
Really?
Yes.
Right on. I prefer the term esoteric tinker. It's not as ominous as mad science. Well, I'm still crazy. I'm just not evil. Thank you.
There's I believe
I would
1870s, 1880s. They have cartridge weapons.
Okay. Because the Navy cap and ball it works. It's effective, dude.
But you have to carry whole extra cylinders if you want to reload.
And big things of powder and extra caps. You can't load fast enough and run away from the zombies, even if they're walking after you. Even if they're not 28 days later zombies where they're all fucking Jesse Owens style sprinters. They're like
honestly,
Jim
very
Thorpe.
little of what you face in Deadland is just zombies. It's all worse than that.
Now I'm even more upset. Thank you.
But
I mean, obviously I play 7 Days to
along
Die.
that vein, in addition to Deadlands, are you familiar with Solomon Kane?
The comic book or the other story?
The original Robert E. Howard short fiction that he used to publish. Because if there was a comic book, it was probably in the same vein.
DC.
He was a 16th century Puritan swashbuckler. Does that sound like Solomon Kane from the comic book?
No, he's Old West, isn't he? I thought he was.
No, Solomon Kane.
Jonah Hex.
Whoops. Jonah Hex is Marvel, though, isn't it?
I think he's DC.
No, Jonah Hex is DC.
He's badass.
Anyway,
Solomon Kane, please.
Solomon Kane was a 16th century, basically, Puritan swashbuckler. He was one of those guys that, wandered the land and just happened to come across evil and always had a way to deal with it when he did. It's basically gothic 16th century Scooby-Doo adventures. And it is very much a monster of the week kind of game. That's a game I'd really like to run. Deadlands is bigger and flashier, but that game, I have so much material for it, I could run it for years.
For me, it doesn't matter. We could play anything. Paul, remember, I met him in 89, 90. And the game he talked about most in all of those years of gaming, I don't know if you ran it. I don't remember because...
I did.
I haven't even told you what it is yet. Or do you know what I'm going to say? The game he loved the most is where somebody set up a game where you played yourself and it was a zombie apocalypse. And you went downtown into Phoenix. And it was that you?
That was,
the Dave guy that you all
that was Dave Davies. Yeah,
it was a different Davey. Okay.
No, yeah, it was Dave Davies. That was Dave. Dave had actually written his own role-playing game called Fight for Survival, and it was basically Dawn of the Dead, the role-playing game. And he wrote it back when we were playing first edition D&D, and
you said like 87, like 80. After he moved here from London.
Yeah, I played in it back in the early 80s before I went in the military. But we had a lot of fun with that. But yeah, it was kind of an odd and overwrought gaming system. I didn't really see. Dave was a wonderful game master, so I enjoyed it, but I really didn't see the point of his system. It just took D&D and made it needlessly more complicated.
Paul had narcissistic tendencies. Let's be honest. He just enjoyed playing himself. Sorry, it's wrong to speak ill of the dead, but that was a funny sucker punch.
The only games I ran where you played yourself is back in high school. We played a lot of Champions, superhero role playing.
Nice.
And we would play what we'd call personal characters, basically us with superpowers.
Awesome. Okay, I got retard strength. Super sweat. I am like the sweatiest man I've ever met. I could sweat in the pool, like Dom DeLuise said, high anxiety. Sorry. But no, he talked about that game often because of how much fun you guys had and how you were all able to alter the city, and everyone got into it because it was Phoenix at the time. You all lived there. You knew exactly where these places were.
Yeah, no, by the time Paul got into that game, I had already, I was over in Europe.
Okay.
Learning to be a game master.
Learning to be a game master.
Well,
you were in the Army. Yes, learning to be a game master. Okay, that checks out, actually.
The first game I ran was back in, I think, 1982. TSR, the publisher of D&D, came out with a game called Star Frontiers. Remember Star Frontiers?
I've never forgotten it.
I got into D&D in the hopes that it would lead me to a role-playing game that was more like Star Wars. And even though Star Frontiers wasn't, it was a science fiction space role-playing game. And so I latched onto it hard. I bought up all the stuff, and for like 3 years of high school, I ran that campaign. And we met in the park, Chicken Park at 59th and Glendale, every other Sunday to play that game for like 3 years. In the cold and the wind and the rain, whatever, we were there playing it. And, that's where I learned to game master. Then I joined the Army, and, I get there and there's a guy and he's got all these books and he's a game master. And, I joined the game and I'm in it for about 3 weeks. Then I get a knock on my door and, I answer it, and there's our game master, Jordan. He's just like, little Malaysian guy. He's only about 4.5 feet tall, but he's like built like a tree stump.
Brick shit house.
Yes.
I'm here to beat the crap out of you in front of everybody. Okay.
He has 2 milk crates full of books on the floor. And I'm like, what's up? He's like, just got orders. I'm going back to the States at the end of the month. You're the game master now because you know the rules better than everybody else. And he took his foot and he shoved those 2 milk crates of D&D books into my room. And so I became the game master, and I wish I had kept all, because I had expanded on that collection and had all the first edition books and then passed them on to somebody else as the Barracks D&D set as when I came back.
Well,
and I wish I had kept them.
Hopefully that Barracks still has that D&D set. They probably do.
Somebody does. But that was where I learned to really be a game master, was in the Army. Heck, we were out on field exercises and played D&D in a bombed out bunker on a firing range.
Wherever you can. You don't need much, just dice, paper, and pencil. Half the time you don't even need paper and pencil, just dice.
You don't even need the dice if you really want to.
Just do rock, paper, scissors like in Vampire and Werewolf.
I ran a coffee shop for a short while down in Glendale, and we had a group that came in on the weekends on Friday nights and did a live action vampire, and they used our basement and our coffee shop, and they used rock, paper, scissors to resolve things.
Yeah, they always do.
Yeah, that's how it was for the live action.
Yeah,
I remember I tried joining a group in Tempe, and they would use the rock, paper.
The best thing that White Wolf could do is leave it the way it is. Don't touch anything. Leave the masquerade but then come up with a whole new world whole new gaming system that's not storytelling at all. That's
the thing is that
D&D.
the current version of Vampire isn't published by White Wolf anymore.
No,
and it doesn't. I've played it. I had a lot of fun with it. It's a good game, but it is falling into what a lot of role-playing games have fallen into is like, here's our main book and it's got a little bit of the world, but if you want to play these character classes, you have to buy this book.
Oh,
and if you want to play these character classes, and if you like here's a book with these clans, so you can play them, and here's a book with these clans, and here's a book about the Sabbat, and here's a book about, and at $60 a pop, you're $1,000 into this game before you can play it.
And your players are like, this is boring. All we do is talk.
Yeah. Whereas D&D, the one book has everything you need, all of it. Everything else is fluff. You don't need to collect it in order to have enough to play the game. There's a gaming company called Modifius has license for Star Trek and Conan and Fallout, and they have a nice system, but they do the same thing. It's like, oh, here's the main Conan book, and it's got like 4 character archetypes in it, but then here's a book that has a couple more, and here's a book that has a couple more, and here's a book that has a couple more.
FASA did that with Shadowrun. Oh, you want to know about Azadland? Here's a book. Tir na Nog? Here's a book. Tyre Teranger? Here's another book.
Yeah,
oh, you want to know about the...
You know who else did that? Palladium. For Rift.
Oh, they're the ones that came up with it.
No.
Right?
D&D second edition really... And D&D second edition top-heavied itself to death. Basically, it came out with... At one time, they had like 7 or 8 different published game worlds going at the same time, competing with itself. And, it became so bloated that second edition kind of collapsed. But
there's another game system that you only need one book.
Savage Worlds is that.
Toon. I have 2 Toon books in the other room. I have also Men in Black, a couple Firefly. Oh, that's annoying as hell.
They just launched Toon second edition.
Really? Toon is like Call of Cthulhu or Paranoia. It's not
Paranoia.
It's not a serious campaign. It's a fun. We've been playing D&D for a year and a half. Let's take a break, guys, before I fucking lose my mind. Here, Paranoia. Let's kill each other. Okay.
Paranoia is bring a couple of 6-packs because we can't do this sober.
No. Paranoia is to get revenge on players in your party that did stupid shit when you were playing D&D, because the DM sets that up too. Because I've never had a DM allow you to pick your secret mutant power or your secret society. They were always rolled, all of them.
They have to be.
And then the DM has to figure out, okay, these two guys get along together. Because there was one time where there were a couple NPCs because nobody got along in them. We were all at odds with one another. It was so much fun. Everybody died so many times.
My favorite thing was, you go before the council and you get your mission, and then you're told to report to R&D.
Which can be a death sentence.
Well, I guaranteed every time they went to R&D, somebody was going to die. And it was usually obvious things like, R&D is going to give you a set of rocket boots. Well, the first time you fire off the rocket boots, you move at over 100 miles an hour in whatever direction the rocket boots happen to be facing until you collide with something and die.
Well, I figured something out with Toon, and it kind of made me happy.
Ooh.
With Toon, I could actually play my Stand Adventures character.
You could play out the cartoon
my comic
in your
character. Right? I could just picture that now. You know, because I'm not sure about, because I was just thinking that Major Chip Hazard, was he kind of cartoony or was he more serious?
He was a little more
Because I could
serious.
see him in two.
Major Crush Hazard, the way we planned it out, was kind of like a really long Saturday Night Live skit, where the atmosphere and the demeanor was very serious, but there were some super ridiculous things happening while the story was going on, because the 5-foot assassin and all the other characters they're a joke. They were all made from jokes. Lady Deathcraft is Cookie and I and Gabe watches us sometimes. Hopefully he'll watch us again. One of the amazing artists, great guy. And we're all playing D&D, and instead of getting pizza and wings from Sardella's, great place, not a sponsor, but I wish they were. And because they used to, it's a different restaurant, pizza joint now, but it used to be at 32nd and Greenway. So we just have them deliver, or one of us would run up and go get it while we were playing D&D on Friday and Saturday night, or Star Wars or Shadowrun, whatever we were playing. Finally, one night, Christine's like, I am burned out on pizza and wings. Okay, you're a picky eater. That I expected this to come. Why don't we do something else? Much discussion was had. Sandwiches were chosen. Cold cuts, nice rolls, cheeses, blah, 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 blah. I'm continuously fucking with Christine because, well, I'm her husband, and by law, it's
You're allowed.
required. Yes. So Christine gets to the point where she's super annoyed with me. I'm standing 3 or 4 feet away from her. She's very annoyed with me. She's making a sandwich. She grabs a slice of American cheese, throws it. It spins through the air and slaps me in the cheek and literally makes a smack noise and falls on the floor. And the three of us basically react like Chris Tucker and Ice Cube in, Friday. Whoa, damn! And from that day on, she became Lady Deathcraft, but we were using cheese slices and, dairy products to kill people in the jokes we were making.
Speaking of which, about cheese slices, there's a video, and I'll have to find it and give it to you, that shows various babies in high chairs crying, and then you throw a cheese slice on their head, and for whatever reason, they just stop crying.
They panic. They just, it like resets them. For me,
yes,
it was really.
And it's almost universally works. It's like usually what the hell?
Yeah. What? It's like putting a warm, yeah. In the early 90s, I was friends with
I don't advocate throwing cheese slices at your infants.
Yeah, don't do that.
I do.
Well, Chris does, but he doesn't speak for all of us, only himself. Does he? The council doesn't put out any mandates. It's just a group of individuals. So locally in the early 90s, there was a public access television show called TV or Not TV. And a lot of Mary McLaren, Bo Heckman, Jason Barth, John King, a lot of actors were on it. And they did one of the funniest bits ever I had ever seen, where they basically did a voiceover, and I can't remember it word for word because that was over 35 years ago. But they took the Clint Eastwood movie and replaced all the guns with dairy products from the makers of the Gouda, the Bad, and the Ugly, and a few nachos more. So they have like a Clint Eastwood looking guy, and then they have two of the other guys that are the writers and actors, and they make up the show, and they're filming it all. I can't remember where they filmed it, but it looks like old Tucson or one of these places. And the guy walks up to the saloon. I'd like cold milk in a dirty glass. And the two little guys next to him, cold milk in a dirty glass? What kind of pansy-ass drink is that? And they do a classic spaghetti western situation where it's a close-up. You got a problem with dairy products? And he turns and he that moves and let's get out of here. Look, stranger, we don't want no trouble with your kind around here. Oh, really? What kind is that? Cheese slinger. So all of the gunfights are them throwing American cheese slices at each other. It's overly dramatic. It's like a Leslie Nielsen, and the writing was really good. Steve, Christopher Lamont and Steve Bennett and all of the guys, and Paul Hornsby, and it was really, really, really good. Like, I'm still singing a song from that, like, 35 years ago. And it was like Saturday Night Live. It was just a bunch of different random sketches that these guys would come up with and film and then put on their... I can't find it anywhere, but I'm sure somewhere in the world it exists, because it was actually really funny. But that's like one of those things that I'm like, man, if I won the lottery, I would totally redo that as a little bit. Because it's one of those movies that don't exist things that Cliff and I wanted to do for Bats in the Belfry, and that would spill over into this. Have you seen College Humor? You're familiar with that group? They do all kinds of comedy stuff. Their daylight saving trailer. Oh my God! Okay,
they did one of Weird Al's.
You send it to me, Bill.
His last album.
They what?
They did one of Weird Al's last album, Mandatory Fun. The record label did not want to fund any of his videos, so he went, and all of the videos, there were like three or four of them made. He had outside people collab with him, and I believe College Humor was one of the videos. Funny or Die was one of the videos.
Funny or Die is good.
Yes.
I didn't mean it.
Yeah. So
they have College Humor has a trailer for a movie that doesn't exist about daylight saving time. And it starts off, and this guy gets to the office, and there's nobody there, and they're playing all this dramatic dung, and he's looking around, and all of a sudden behind him you hear a voice, "You're here early." And he turns around, and it's a janitor cleaning the floor. "I thought I was late." No. So you've got like this one guy, and then you've got this man and woman scientist, and they're working out these calculations. No, you don't understand. It was designed to give the farmers more time. And then you've got this other group of three people, and they're like trying to like set their VCR, and you don't understand. It's just going to happen. No, it's spring ahead and fall back. And they're doing the dramatic, like, try to escape and run away. It's daylight savings. Sing, not daylight saving. With the S, they're arguing about the S.
I know it's fiction now, because everybody in the history of ever that owned a VCR, that MFer flashed 12 o'clock from the day you plugged it in to the day it died. No matter how many of them you had, they all say 12 o'clock. Yeah. Because you could never figure out how to get it to stick.
Or you get it to stick, and about 2 weeks later,
it's back to 12 o'clock.
You little bitch! Okay, you just want attention. You want daddy's little attention, don't you? So, yeah. But the video is really funny.
A note to makers of microwave cuisine. I do not now, nor have I ever known, the wattage of any microwave I have ever used.
It's written on... Okay.
On the back. Yes. How many people look at the back of their microwave?
No comment.
Once it's plugged in, it's plugged in, and it ain't moving.
That's not fair. My dad was a tech. God damn it. Nobody ever cleans these things out. You have to take these... okay, I'm sorry. Yeah. There's a downside to doing all the amazing stuff. There's also all the amazing upkeep that he's relentless about and yells at you your whole life. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I remember you told me. I'm the one who dropped the balls. Sorry, I brought up your blood pressure over this. Whoops. I was going to get to it. You just did it before I got to it. Yeah. Anyway, Deadlands. Yes, very jealous. Want to play real bad. Deadlands, Traveler. There's several other games that I want to play really bad that I just never had a chance to, because there's like, I want to play this.
Never really clicked with Traveler. I guess I never had a game master that could do it justice.
Maybe we can find it.
Where was the one that you had to like pick points and everything, right?
That was Champions, the hero system, where you get a number of points and you pick everything based on points. Everything. Savage Worlds is the same way. There are no random die rolls in the making of your character for Savage Worlds. None.
Okay.
Traveler is
Maybe
a whole...
maybe I'm thinking GURPS where you got like a long ass list of that you could pick
Honestly,
to make your character.
it might be a couple of them because even well, with Shadowrun, you can. I was explaining this to Clay the other night. You can take an archetype, which one of the best archetypes in the second edition Shadowrun is the Orc Street Samurai, because he only has eyes and a data jack. He hasn't cybered up totally, because the human guy and the elf and most of them are almost maxed when you're given the character. But you can also do an A, B, C, D. So, I want to pick money as A and be like Bruce Wayne. Okay, I want to pick metahuman as A. I want to be a dwarf. So now your attributes and your skills and you have to pick what's most important, and that's how many points you get to allocate where you want to put them. So making a character in the FASA creation of Shadowrun it's intensive, and it's
rather involved.
Yeah, like creating traveler character.
It requires a certain amount of system mastery in order to do it right. And you see, that was the problem with third edition D&D. Second edition, third edition, its thing is that it became way more granular and way more intense and more time invested, to the point where the people that played it on a regular had a mastery over it and didn't really want to take all the time it would take to bring a new character up to speed, and therefore it kind of became an insular and a closed off community. D&D was kind of strangling itself as it became more and more of a niche and a system mastery thing. And the fourth edition of D&D was designed to go the entire opposite direction. And it did some things right, but also did some things wrong too. The first thing they did wrong is underestimate just how beloved third edition D&D was. So when they came out with fourth edition, they pulled all the third edition product off the shelves. It was no longer available, and that made a lot of people mad. That and fourth edition, it changed the focus of the game to almost a more board-like thing, where the adventure was set up in a series of encounters, and anything outside those encounters really wasn't encouraged. And it made for a very, very good miniatures tactical system, but if you were into D&D, it didn't look or feel much like D&D at all. No. One thing it did do, though, is instead of having a whole bunch of rule books to look through, it gave you a character sheet with everything you needed on the character sheet. Yeah. Every one of your powers, spells, everything was explained on the character sheet. So all you needed at the table was your character sheet. You didn't need rule books on the table.
I would go so far as to say the further you go with Dungeons and Dragons in the editions, the more they're trying to curtail and beg for the video game people.
Because I would say it on the surface it would appear that way, but in practice I don't think that's true. The second edition people said it when third edition came out. The third edition people said it when fourth edition came out. And I mean, if third edition would be the one I would say really started gearing towards video games.
And the instant reward. D&D doesn't work that way. You have to work really hard for experience points. That's why the reality of Shadowrun is really heavy, because it's like you're given karma points. You're not given a lot of them, and that's what raises your character up. So they're your experience points, and they're also your level up points. So you don't even want to use them all the time because you might need them in a battle. Because you might use them for dice when you're about to die. And the karma pool as well, which is kind of your level in a way.
Savage Worlds goes about it differently.
Ooh, do tell.
Yeah, basically, they call their level ups raises. So when is it a raise? No, they call it an advance. And you start off, you're a novice. If you get an advance, it can be used for edges, which are special abilities or enhancements to abilities that only you have. Can be used to increase your attributes with a limited scope and to add skills. And every 4 levels, you advance to you start off as novice. 4 advances makes you, seasoned. 4 advances from that makes you veteran. 4 advances from that makes you heroic, and 4 advances from that makes you legendary. And Savage Worlds is set up to give you one of these advances every other game session. So you, unlike D&D, where as you go up in level, the level progression slows down, it doesn't with Savage Worlds. You just keep getting... But it is a more managed system in that, unlike D&D, if you're a first level character and you join a 10th level party, unless you are very coddled, you're going to get smoked. In Savage Worlds, if you're a novice player and you join a group of legendary players, you're still going to have a good time because, the game doesn't use hit points. Basically, no. It has wounds.
Shadowrun. They have a damage monitor.
You as a player character, you can take 3 wounds. The 4th wound incapacitates you and gives you a chance to die. Only player characters can take multiple wounds.
Oh.
They're called wild cards. Everybody else is what they call an extra, which is basically everybody in the world that isn't you is an extra. Maybe a few bosses, which means that if they take a wound, they go down. Everybody's a one-shot chump except the player characters and the bosses. So you move up to a mook, you punch him in the face. If you do enough damage to wound him, he's going down. But everybody is like that. And you never get more wounds. Everybody takes 3 and then dead. And Savage Worlds uses an exploding die system, which means, let's say I do 2d6 points of damage to you. One of the dice comes up a 6. I get to total the dice and then re-roll that 6 and add it. And if it comes up a 6 again, I get to re-roll and add it until it stops coming up a 6.
Stack it like in Shadowrun.
We have had numbers as high as 70.
Nice.
Yes. And the way the wounds work is, let's say you have a toughness score. If the damage equals, let's say I have a toughness of 7. You do 7 points of damage to me. That causes what they call a shaken condition. I'm rattled and I have to, on my turn, recover from being shaken. If you do 4 more points than that, 11, which is called a raise because it works in increments of 4, you cause me a wound. And every 4 points beyond that causes a wound. So if you have a toughness of 7 and somebody does 57 points of damage to you and you're going to take 11 wounds and you only have 3, you're paced.
Gotcha.
So yeah, the game I ran last Thursday, when the big villain came up, he drew the lowest card on initiative, and the last player, before he got to go, did 56 points of damage to him with a rifle and killed him. The boss, one shot, dead. Because Savage Worlds is savage. Now there are opportunities to, soak wounds and other ways to mitigate it. But when you get hit by something that big, chances are, unless you get a really big explodey die roll to counter it, you're done.
It's over. It's over. So I'm curious.
I
Go
have a
ahead.
question for
You first.
for the both of you. My novel, my book that I've been working on has been rattling around in my head in 30 years. It is, baby. It is for my kids born. They were even the thought of my eye. I've always wanted to put it into a tabletop role-playing game system. I know vampire, know Dungeons and Dragons, the typical, their point system, allocating points or die roll. I'm going to defer to the two veterans and anybody else that might be watching, Rob. I'm kind of leaning towards Savage Worlds now.
I would highly recommend it's. We have done fantasy kung fu. We have done Star Wars. We have done Battlestar Galactica. We've done traditional westerns. I've done the A-Team. You name it. You name it. Savage Worlds can do it. The one thing I really wouldn't do with Savage Worlds is run an epic fantasy campaign. And not that it couldn't, but why? When D&D is right there.
Or Pathfinder or Castles.
Well, Pathfinder actually publishes a variation of their game on the Savage Worlds rules, so you can get Pathfinder for Savage Worlds.
I'm
not
always
that I
one
would.
Step behind. That's the beauty of learning.
Not that I would. If I'm going to play a dedicated fantasy game, I'm going to play a dedicated. There are enough that have it dialed in that, Savage Worlds could do it, but it couldn't do D&D as well as D&D does D&D. It just couldn't.
None of them are. Go ahead, Kris.
No. Go ahead.
None of them are perfect, but D&D has been doing it since 1973. Chainmail.
Yeah, because Clips is Vampire the Masquerade, and when I describe it as Blade Runner meets Underworld.
Vampire the Masquerade, you describe as being neutered in a brothel. And a millionaire.
And so I would maybe combine, Vampire the Masquerade and Shadowrun. Be the two that I would, equate it with. As far as setting and stuff like that.
Savage Worlds could definitely do you said Blade Runner meets what?
Underworld.
So yeah, you could absolutely, Blade Runner is just near future. You could run that out of the Savage Worlds core book but the cool thing about Savage Worlds is that they have these, what they call their companion books. They have a science fiction companion that has all kinds of cool stuff for running specific science fiction. They have a fantasy companion. They have a horror companion. And they have a superheroes companion. And Savage Worlds will do all of those.
I totally want you to plug your book idea.
Savage World.
Well, Kris, I totally want you to plug your novel idea, but I have so many questions about Deadlands, so now I'm torn.
No, please keep hitting me. I've got...
Okay, classes, please.
There's no such thing as classes.
Oh, D&D. Go ahead.
D&D has poisoned everybody into thinking the only way to do a game is to have character classes. With Savage Worlds, you pick your attributes, you pick your skills, and you pick your edges, and you build the character the way you want to build it. If you want a gunslinger that can use some magic, you do that.
So it's freeform.
It's freeform. You've got archetypes, so you can build. If you want a brawler, you can pick edges and stuff to make yourself a brawler. So, but it's not locked down to you're a fighter, so you're only ever going to be able to do fighter things. So just deal with it.
Kind of set up like Shadowrun, where you can do it on your own, or you can take an archetype.
Yes, and and the archetypes are really just suggestions. It's like, here's some ideas for characters.
Just like Shadowrun.
Just build whatever you want.
Yeah.
You know, there are no character classes, and I would venture to say that a majority of role-playing games out there don't have character classes. That I would say the D20 based games, which is, you know, D&D, Pathfinder, Starfinder, and you know, there are a host of others that are all based on D20. Those all are class-based systems where, you know, each character has its own class and its progression tree and stuff. And, you know, that was the way role-playing games were done for the longest time.
It really was, because that's how the Red Box started. That's how, you know.
Yep.
I look at the archetypes, like you said, as suggestions, and they're more of themes than anything else. But then again, so are the classes, because second edition D&D on, you're kind of open to be where the character is this level, but I'm 5th level, but I'm 3 levels in fighter and 2 in magic user.
Yeah. No, I would say Savage Worlds would be more like when you're building your character, you get a certain number of points for your skills. You get these things like edges. I'm trying to think of an example of an edge. Edges that make you tougher, edges that make you hit harder, edges that give you little advantages in different ways. Edges that make you luckier, edges that make you run faster, things like that. And so your character is basically a collection of edges and skills and concept. So let's say in Deadlands you wanted to play a gunslinger, but have some sort of, you know, maybe a little bit of thievery or maybe some charismatic skills. We'll have to sit down and I'll show you the basics of it. But yeah, get used to breaking the idea that it is you have a character class. You just build what you want.
Fair
and
enough.
Savage Worlds is one of those fairly simple systems that it's hard to break. So it's hard to build a character that is so bad it's unplayable. And as a game master, I'm always willing to let you
Experiment.
tweak your.
Challenge accepted.
I'm willing to let you respec something about your character. If you're not having fun, I'm not going to make you play a character you're not having fun playing.
But there's also are you sure you want to do this? Yeah. Are you sure you want? Why do you say it like
I will
that?
only ask once.
Oh. Gotcha. Are you sure? Well, I was until you said it like that. Now no, I'm not sure. But now I don't know.
Because we were playing Dungeons and Dragons back when Spring and I got together, like after the boys were born.
Yeah.
And we were in the middle of a game, and I don't remember exactly what was ship. And there was a storm coming, or there was a kraken or something that was attacking the ship. And I think I was playing a cleric, and I was praying to my deity for help, and there was nothing happening. And my infinite wisdom, I don't know what the hell made me think of this, I prayed to any deity out there to help us. We ended up seeing about the paladin tried to me, who was also a servitor of my deity that I serving. He couldn't heal me. My deity had literally turned their back on me.
Well, slip of the tongue. Yeah. It was a fun experiment, though. Sometimes you mess up playing role-playing games.
It's D&D where you have to take the deity seriously because they take you seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know.
And they will directly involve themselves.
Lesson learned. There.
Oh, yeah. Lesson learned.
Lesson learned.
Like,
Don't piss off. Don't bite the hand that feeds. You bite the hand that feeds. He wrote a song about it and everything. But no, that Deadlands always looked really cool. So many games. Traveler.
You see, other little things about the game is playing cards factor heavily into it. Random encounters and chases are done using playing card systems. Initiative is dealt out as playing cards.
Really?
And there are edges you can have that like allow you multiple cards. You have a better chance of getting a higher initiative. And there are jokers in the deck, and if you get drawn a joker, you get special things. Then they have what they call bennies or benefits. What a benny is it's basically a poker chip that you start the game with 3 of them. And a benny can be used to do things like try to soak damage from wounds, re-roll a skill check, re-roll an attack roll, re-roll a damage roll. It can also be used to dictate minor circumstances in the game. Let's say our characters are at the bottom of a hill and there's a fort up there and we're trying to rescue our pirate captain, but we have to get up to the wall of that fort. Well, it would be a lot easier if it was raining. So I look at the game master and I throw a benny down and I say, it's raining. And he decides either okay, and he allows us to spend the benny, or he says, no, it's not, and gives the benny back. An example I use, we were playing in a science fiction game, and my character was like a noble from this planet when it got invaded. And, he was out on his yacht when a group of the invaders, captured the yacht, and he's trying to tell people who he is. And they were like, right, you're not the fucking crown prince of the planet. You're some minor thing. And so I spent a benny and said, there on the coffee table on my yacht is a copy of Cosmo magazine with my face on it.
Proof. Right here.
Proof, yes. That's the kind of things that a benny can be used for.
Yeah.
The last thing that makes Savage Worlds cool is, as a player character, you get what is called a wild die. Whenever you roll a skill check or an attack roll or an ability check, you roll the die. You also roll a d6. So you get basically 2 chances at everything every time you roll. Your success number is a 4, which means on a d6 you have a 50% chance of success. And as the die goes up, maximum of d12, your chances of success get better. Plus, the dice explode. And so
that's when you roll a 6 and you get to add that and go up and up and up.
Yes, but you roll 2 dice and you take whichever. They don't add together, but you get basically a second chance. You get your skill check and then you get the wild die.
Okay.
And it can explode and fun things can happen. The downside is that only player characters and wild cards that get the wild die can critical fail, which is what happens if your regular die and your wild die both come up as a 1. That can't be fixed for the benny, and something really bad happens every time.
Critical bomb.
It's called a critical fail, and
critical failure.
It's a lot of fun.
Oh, for the DM, yeah, it's a lot of.
But Savage Worlds flows a lot faster and looser than D&D.
Right on. It sounds like a lot of fun.
I don't know how well it would work with 11 people, though. I'll have to go out and get a good deck of cards and a stack of poker chips because I don't know what happened to any of mine. Because you have to have them to run Savage Worlds.
I've got them. Don't worry. I'll have Clay send them over.
But
thank you, Amanda.
No. Lots of fun.
Cat's going.
I got specials.
What?
I got Star Wars ones.
Poker chips? Cards.
No, I don't have poker chips, but I have playing cards. I got
Oh, we got
Decks.
lots of playing cards.
I have they're actually plastic, like nylon or something, really nice textured playing cards, but they're extra slippery. You go flinging one across the table and it scoots right off the table. But
I still think I have my visually impaired playing cards that are really, really big.
They probably
I'll
help.
need those eventually.
All of us will. Until science catches up. Hopefully soon.
Hopefully very soon.
Hopefully very, very soon.
Yeah, I don't believe in the science behind laser eye surgery. I had a friend when I worked in radio. She had LASIK done. This was 25 years ago, back when it was in its
Brand
infancy.
new. Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes it doesn't always take.
No.
You
And
know,
so
when
she
I
spent
had
$5,000 to
cataract-
get it done, and within a year, her eyes were right back where they were at. And maybe the technology and the procedures have gotten better, but at the time, they would tell you, this is not guaranteed to work long term. It's like, okay, I can't. I've worn glasses as long as I can remember being, since about 2 years old. And so
Yeah, same
I'm
here.
good with just wearing glasses the rest of my life.
Well, when I had my cataracts, they wouldn't. The insurance wouldn't cover the laser part, so they had to go and do the old school where they scraped cataract off.
That's because it was still considered an experimental medicine and it wasn't FDA approved.
This was 5 years ago.
Wow, that's surprising.
Yeah, the insurance wouldn't cover the laser, but
Still.
they would cover old school scraping.
Oh. My eyes.
And you're awake when they do it. I was awake when they did it. I couldn't see them doing it, but I was awake. I could feel it.
Only if you tie me down. Because I'm going to lose my shit. Yeah. That scene when Christopher Walken wakes up and fire in the sky and they have him strapped to the... Or no, was it communion? What are you showing me? It's a box within a box within a box. Whitley Shriver, whatever.
Yeah, communion.
Okay. I've seen both. Well, Fire in the Sky happened here up in Heber.
What?
Up by on the Mugion Rim. The Mugion Rim is spooky if you ever get up to being there. Bigfoot,
yes.
aliens, all kinds of Indian stuff. It's the lore goes back way back. It's Arizona has a lot of creepy areas. Let's talk about that, shall we? So yeah, why not? Let's do Arizona.
Why not?
Well, I mean, hey, next month is February, and Arizona became a state in February. It's Valentine's Day, isn't it?
14th.
No,
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. In 1912.
And before that, it was a territory, and a lot of fucked up shit happened. And there's reservations. We have 17 tribes of Native Americans. So
I live within 2 miles of a reservation.
Right on.
The
Well,
Guadalupe Reservation.
we've got the...
Because
Where do you
a lot of
think is
people
the
don't
in Arizona?
don't realize what the creepiest place in Arizona.
Yeah, where do you think is the creepiest,
I don't
weirdest
know.
stuff in Arizona?
I've encountered some weird shit camping in the Tonto National Forest.
Yeah.
Big. We were out camping in the Tonto National Forest one night. It was me and my now ex-wife and my infant daughter and a couple of other friends, and we're sitting around the campfire, and it's well after dark, and we hear big, heavy footsteps out in the dark, like several, and then it stops.
Like, what the
And we're all
hell?
just, and then we hear it move again, big, heavy footsteps. Don't think it was four-legged because it didn't sound like it, but We never saw what it was, but it was big enough that you could hear it moving out there.
Damn.
Yeah, don't know what it was, but I guarantee it was bigger than a man. The footprints were heavier, and either it walked on two legs or it coordinated well enough to sound like it walked on two legs. Don't know what it was, never saw it, but
I don't know, Kris. That's a heavy question. Well, there's a lot of haunted areas that I've been to, but that's either weird energy or spirit activity. But then there's like straight up.
there are some places on the Navajo reservation that
Yeah.
they just don't allow people to go there for
They
a
don't
reason.
even go there. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're just bad area. Well, you've got
Look up the Shiprock.
Shiprock, and Arizona, Colorado, Utah, New Mexico. You've got a lot of areas. You've got the Water Babies, which is, I'm surprised there's not more horror movies about that, because you don't know it's too late until it's too late, kind of thing. Do you know it? Have you ever heard of this story?
No.
No.
This is
Lava Being in my chat asks if any of us have any recommendations on resources discussing urban myths and monsters.
urban myths and monsters as far as locally
Just
here
in general,
Phoenix?
as in
Okay.
general, yeah. We're talking about Arizona myths and monsters, but
We can broaden out.
I'll have to look into that. We can make that the subject of a future show: urban myths and monsters.
It's interesting you
Why
said
don't we
that.
do that for like October? We can do something like a whole month of shows for October.
Yeah. That we can
Would be
totally
cool.
do.
It'd be fun.
As far as like that topic, I mean, Guy and I talked about doing a cryptid show after we were talking about doing one on cars, but every state has things that go bump in the night, and which, pick one. What do you want to talk about the skunk ape, or do you want to talk about the Sasquatch or Bigfoot or
Mothman?
We've also got the chupacabra.
Chupacabra down south there, the goat sucker? There's what is it, Devil's Hole in Arkansas. There's the Mogollon Rim has the story of Bill Spade and the Mogollon Rim monster, and like Ron and I were taken there with a bunch of other kids at like 12, and this creepy old mountain man guy tells the story of there's a Native American warrior who I think I told this before too. I've told every story before. Nothing's new. Nothing, But he wants to be great. He wants to be immortal. He wants to be the best warrior ever. The Kachinas keep telling him, "Oh no, you're not worthy. You're not worthy." When they bestow immortality and invulnerability on him, he goes crazy and he starts killing everybody. So they take his ability to speak away and they make him hairy and smelly so that he can't communicate with humanity anymore. And he's basically stuck in the Mogollon Rim area. And he steals a woman and carries her away, and Bill Spade and the rest of the people go looking for her. And even at Camp Geronimo, it's a Boy Scout camp out there on top of the Mogollon Rim. It's awesome. I've been there like 3 times as a kid. And they would tell this story out there to scare the scouts, the Weeblos, Weeblos is when you're in between being a Cub Scout and being a Boy Scout.
Correct.
And the interesting thing is in the lore, in the 1880s, I don't remember if it's Payson or at Geronimo, they're having like a barn dance, and everybody in the town and in the area is at this barn dance, and all of a sudden the people that are taking the tickets come running in. They're killing a woman out there. They're killing a woman. I can't remember. This is on a bunch of different websites. You can look it up. 1889, I think, or one of the... They get pitchforks, shotguns, lanterns. It's pre-flashlights, folks. Torches, your mob scenario, and they hear this woman screaming. And they're tracking, and they're tracking. Is this a mountain lion? No, it's not. Is this a fox? No, it's not. I don't know what this is. I've never heard this before. They're following this noise, and all of a sudden, the trackers of the community are like, we need to tell you guys two things. One, whatever we're following is leading us in circles on top of the rim. Two, besides this thing making noise, there is a much bigger, deeper noise that's answering this thing that's getting closer and closer. And there's many of them. We estimate 4 or 5 of them that are making a horrible noise that's deeper, louder, and resonates more than this noise that we're following. We need to go back to the barn. In a panic, they set the whole rim on fire. And it is observed through multiple sources that the western part of the Mogollon Rim is, it's kind of a sheer drop. It's a rock face that just kind of collapsed over time and geology. But the eastern half of it goes into Greer and, oh God, what's the other little tiny town that's past Greer? It's several towns that are there. Greer is lovely. I love Greer. I have a bumper sticker that Hannah bought me for Greer. Where the hell is it? It has a Bigfoot on it. But multiple sources saw taller than human shadows running from the rim down the slope on the eastern end. Because if they ran off the west, it would be lemmings. They would just die from the thousands of foot fall that is the geologic Mogollon Rim area up there in Payson, Arizona. So the second time, no. There was one time it was just my father and I up at the Mogollon Rim, and the Boy Scouts had invited, you were a Weeblo and you can take your dad. And sure enough, at like 4 a.m, I'm a super early riser. I wake up and I heard what was either a woman screaming or a mountain lion or female Bigfoot. And it wasn't until I heard the Snow-Gnomish recordings in the 70s. Have you ever heard those?
Mm-mm. Maybe I have, yeah.
Absolutely terrifying, but that's what I heard. It's primate screaming at the top of its lungs. Bigfoot is real, folks. Sorry. I believe he exists in a tunnel system, some kind of network. I believe that Neanderthal didn't really get bred out. They kind of evolved in a druidical kind of sense where they don't have like technology and agriculture like we do. They exist as part of nature, like Man-Thing or Swamp Thing.
Entirely possible.
There's a word for Bigfoot, ghost. What's the other one? There's 3 paranormal critters that every single society has a word for. Bigfoot's one of them. Even Australia. You know what it's called? Yowie.
What?
Yowie.
Okay.
Yowie, according
it's a Yeti in Nepal.
In the Himalayas.
That area. Yeah, the Himalayas.
But the what is it? The Aboriginals have a word for Bigfoot, and it's Yowie. They know what the fuck that... They showed a picture of him, and they knew what it was. Same thing with down south in Central America, South America. You know what they're called in Vietnam? rock apes.
Right.
There are reports from both sides of what they thought were orangutans, but they were too big, moving at night and attacking the soldiers with rocks and doing a kind of, forgive the pun, guerrilla warfare. Sorry. With both sides, because the Vietnamese didn't know what to make of it, and neither did the Americans. And they don't want to shoot them because these are monkeys. What do? Just let them go, and they kind of moved through the area and disappeared. Cryptozoology always fascinates me. The one that I'm most concerned with is Trunko. The stories.
What the hell is a Trunko?
Trunko is a story in, do you know what a blob is as far as the ocean goes?
Yeah.
Okay. It's an unidentified corpse that washes ashore on the beaches or, rocks or whatever. And most of the time it's a whale or the remnants of one of the giant squids that the sperm whales eat. So, there is a story out of South Africa in the early 1920s about Trunko. So there's a bunch of people just having a nice day on the beach. It's, I think, November when it happens, so they're not like swimming. They're just, look at the view. Look, way out there is ice, penguins and shit, way out there. All of a sudden, people hear weird noises off in the distance, and they see, I'm having the two new cats are still adjusting to the other 4 resident cats and vice versa. Venus. Yes. He uses the litter box. Anyway, Trunko. So Trunko is described as this white thing with a trunk at the front of it, and it's fighting 2 sperm whales, and the sperm whales kill it, and that it washes up onto the beach, and people take pictures of it, and that's why it's described as a blob sometimes. But there's the pre-story of the sperm whales ripping it apart. Later, at high tide, one of the sperm whales beaches itself, grabs the Trunko, and pulls it back into the ocean, and they continue to rip it apart. Story lost in time. Wow. So type in Trunko, and this story will come up, and Trunko. And I have not found a lot more about it, and there was a bunch of people that witnessed this. Trunko. He's out there at the bottom of the ocean. So is there some giant ancient creature that's fighting sperm whales, or is there some giant ancient creature that sperm whales wiped out?
Hey, what's up?
See, this
That
just
is
sounds
weird.
like a great movie.
Trunko.
This really sounds like a movie.
It really could be so many plots if you think about it.
Right?
What if the whales are actually the bad guys in this one? Usually the whales are the good guys. Unless you're a squid.
And they have songs written about them. That's the worst part.
Moby Dick. They've got everything. Free
No.
Willy!
No, the Narwhal song.
The narwhals, huh? You got me on that one. Trunko. You've never heard about this, huh?
Never
No,
heard of it.
I just pulled it up. I'm looking at the wiki article.
Isn't that bizarre? I mean,
It is.
it's weird. It's one of those, some weird fucking story from the weird New Jersey.com. No affiliation. They just have awesome stories about everything. Paranormal, UFO, interdimensional, take your pick, man. New Jersey is like...
Okay, since we're talking about like cryptids and all that, Superstition Springs Mountain.
Oh, here we go.
Is there something supernatural or dimensional in that area.
Yes.
The whole
Yeah.
mountain range is
The whole. It's a nexus point, like Sedona. Unfortunately, Sedona is positive and beautiful and feels great. Superstitions is beautiful and wonderful and awesome, but there's some pockets in there that are dangerous. There are stories of cannibalistic pygmy tribes of monsters that have ripped people apart. There are stories of miners that have been dead for 100 years that are still looking for Jacob Waltz's The Lost Dutchman. They still believe they can find it because Weaver's Needle and a shadow and it points
I
to the...
have driven through the superstitions enough to know that one lifetime is not enough to search that mountain range. And unless you can fly like Superman, there's just no way. Because there are a lot of sheer drops and canyons that if you were down there, you're not getting out.
Okay. Besides that fact, there are two fundamentally dangerous things that the superstitions produce. Now, whether it's a geological or a, like a ley line kind of thing, or whatever the scenario, for one, everything starts to look the same at a certain point in the superstitions. And that's why they always just urge you to stay on the trails and roads. If you stay on the trails and roads, you're fine. Even if you go back to see Tortilla Flats, where the hell is Tortilla Flats? Was a cute little... It's not really a town. It's more like a strip mall. It's a restaurant and a functional, saloon and stuff. But the other thing is there is a geological aspect where... And there was a plane that crashed not 8 years ago right into the side of the mountain. The superstitions mess with compasses and altimeters. They don't function properly when you get around certain areas. So you can get fantastically lost very quick if you stray. There are people that have gone in there and we've never seen them again. And I've been hearing those stories since the late 70s when we moved out here.
Oh, yeah. I would not mess around.
I've seen several super really, really love supernatural documentaries, ghost documentaries, anything like that. And there's always one about that miner, that guy that thought he was a prospector, he was a miner, and he was a gold hunter, and they never found his body. And and this was recent, within the last 10 years or so. And then they come in and they find his skull and whatnot. And his mom was like, the mountains didn't want him to find that gold, and it killed him.
It's interesting because every year at the Renaissance Festival, you'll meet people that... Remember, there's two circuits going on. So Arizona and Florida, and then Southern California and Georgia, and then, what's the next one? That's... And anyway, but you tell people right away, oh, wow, those mountains are beautiful. Bring lots of water, stick to the trails. Do not go off the trail. There are all kinds of weird nexus points and creepy areas and all kinds of magical shit up there that you don't want to mess with. The Apaches avoided it completely. And that's why Apache Junction, that was all Apache territory way back. And if they caught white men up there, they would kill you when you came down. Because they believe there's a thunderbird that lives up there, and if you go up there, you're going to piss it off, and then it's going to come down here with a terrible storm and destroy all our crops.
I remember you saying that a couple of weeks ago. You mentioned that. Yeah.
It's AZ lore way back,
Oh, yeah.
there's a lot of ruins because Jerome would be another super creepy place, but it's not. I don't know if it's dangerous unless you go down in the mine and places you're not supposed to go.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't.
It's not. I wouldn't go there. I do not recommend that. Do not go into mines unless you're like Sir Dave Carter and you know all about rappelling and mining and you know what the hell you're doing. Don't.
Yeah, if you go in a mine, you're going to fall down a shaft and you're gone.
You're dead, and nobody will find you. We can't save you. They're going to have to air vac you out. If they find your body, it's going to be super expensive. But it's a cat. Anyway, so Jerome is creepy. Sedona. A lot of the Native American ruins, you can feel it when you go to Tonto or Tuzigut or Wapatki or Patatakit. I've never been to Keat Seal, Casa Grande, Pueblo Grande.
I've been to Casa Grande, Pueblo Grande. Hell, there's
Pueblo Grande's
there's
Phoenix.
I forget what they used to call it. Yeah, the one right down at 44th Street and Washington.
Pueblo Grande.
Yeah, I pass by it every day. They call it something else now. They actually gave it a Native American name.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
The best
but I pass by it every day.
My father took so many relatives that would come out and visitors from back east because
my grandpa.
I bet you're gonna pick us up at the airport on horses. No, we don't own horses. We have a van. But you go up Montezuma's Castle, and they haven't been able to go in. The last tour for Montezuma's Castle through the castle was 1977 because it started. Well, it's made
deteriorating.
It's made out of adobe and sticks, so yeah. But it's the ultimate fort. Oh my god!
Yes, it was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went through a lot of ruins in Colorado. My grandparents drug us out. Some of them that you get to climb through, some of them that you only get to view. But yeah, we saw a lot of that. And in Aztec, New Mexico, where my grandparents lived, actually they lived just outside of it. But there was a Native American ruin in that town. I forget what tribe it was, but yeah. I spent a year going to school there, and we went on a field trip to it.
Right on. The one in New Mexico I really want to go to is Chaco Canyon. And it's almost the border. So if you go to Wapatki, you can just keep going, and eventually you'll get to it. But that one is completely lined up with all the stars. They feature it on Ancient Aliens constantly.
I was actually watching that before we started.
Nice. I love that show.
I love that show. I just put it on in the background and I just run.
Do stuff.
Before the stream, I was watching Chef and My Fridge with my wife. It's a Korean TV show. It's a cooking show where they have 2 celebrity guests on and a bunch of celebrity chefs. And the 2 celebrity guests, the show will bring their fridge from home with everything in it, literally. And then each celebrity picks 2 chefs from the panel to prepare food for them out of their own fridge, from their own fridge.
That's
and yes,
awesome.
they literally send a crew out and bring the fridge with everything in it into the studio.
God damn it. Okay.
Yeah.
Go get me some milk crates.
It's a Korean show, and it's in subtitles, but man, Koreans love their cooking shows. They treat their chefs are bigger celebrities than they are here.
I believe it.
Cooking shows are a major thing. We watched this one called Culinary Class Wars, where they took, I think it was 20 of the best chefs in Korea and called them the White Spoons. And then they had a contest where they had like 1,000 people in one day compete to try to get into this contest as a black spoon, as basically the commoners, out of which they took 100, and then they started paring it down from there until it came down to one white spoon versus one black spoon to see who would win the culinary class wars. They'd done 2 seasons of this, and if you're like me, and you can do subtitles, Korean TV can be really entertaining, and I've watched some Chinese TV on Netflix as well that was actually very well done.
I'm a huge fan of subtitles, especially after playing drums forever. What? It's just easier.
Yes.
Let's pause, rewind, pause, rewind,
Sorry.
pause, rewind. What, Chris?
I do subtitles very well.
I have to.
The only time I want to see a movie dubbed is if it's a kung fu movie and it has to be dubbed badly.
Like
where the mouth moves and stops, and then the words. Oh, there is. I forget who did it. I believe it was a member of Wu-Tang Clan.
Tell me when we get to Radio Shack.
They did a bunch of what they call kung fu, F-A-U-X.
Yeah, I think
where they took old kung fu movie footage and dubbed it with modern hip hop slang, and it is hilarious. Kung fu, F-A-U-X. I'm sure it's all on YouTube.
It's probably a lot like Kung Pao Enter the Fist.
No, this is traditional. This is traditional kung fu movies, like I said, with just updated voiceovers from rappers and actors and such, and it is a riot.
It goes back to the tradition of Woody Allen and What's Up, Tiger Lily. Tell me, give us the secret egg salad formula. No, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't like eggs. So stupid.
All right, let's bounce back to the supernatural thing.
Okay.
I'm going to ask you guys about the question.
Oh.
Would you spend any time at Skinwalker Ranch?
No.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
No?
Okay. No, hold on.
I'm not one that typically believes in superstitions, but I don't mess with Native American lore because they take it very seriously for a reason. And while I can't say I'm a believer, I am willing to leave the door open. And if skinwalkers are real, that is truly, truly a terrifying thing. Because it comes from the Navajo lore, which means that we live in their native territory.
We do. And they are. And
Bill, would you?
No. Okay.
Martian Cat says she would.
He would?
No.
My wife,
She would not.
She would.
No. Okay, no, okay. When there's going to creepy areas and going to haunted areas, and then there's going to an area where the things are not from this dimension and they are dark and you can't make them go away. They just persist. So no. They're Skinwalkers aren't supernatural as much as they are interdimensional, if that makes sense. And it's a level of terror you cannot explain. It makes you throw up almost. The smell. No.
Have you been watching the Secret Skinwalker Ranch?
No, I don't want to watch. No, I'm not interested. No, thank you. Pass.
Really? I mean, it's more scientific that they're finding
Cool.
than supernatural.
That's not something. I don't want to catch a hand grenade that's thrown to me either.
There are some things that are best just left undisturbed.
Leave it alone. Go away. That's dude. This isn't a let's go film.
I said, I
This
don't
is a, let's
believe
get
in
the
them, but
fuck.
I don't want to find out that I'm wrong.
I don't believe in the devil, but skinwalkers are evil.
What about that ranch that's west of Phoenix?
Well, that
You heard
narrows
about
it
that
down.
one?
I'll go to the.
I'm not sure
I'll
where
go to
it's
the.
at, but somebody got it a couple of years ago, years ago, and they supposedly it's like really haunted, and like portals, stuff in there.
I'll check it out. But if there's skinwalkers there, I'm not going near that.
No. There's no skinwalkers. It's like a lot of UFO and portal act.
UFOs are different, scary. Like, they might take you away, and then you'll come back, and it's been 5 minutes, but it's been 25 years, and
Yeah, it made the news. It made national news when it was sold. I want to say it was like 10 years ago. It might have been longer than that. But there was like documentaries on like History Channel, Discovery Channel.
you're not talking about the concrete domes, are you?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe it is. Maybe it is.
Well, these are concrete domes. They're not so much a ranch. Uh-oh, Rob found something.
I did.
Rob?
I'm gonna.
While he's reading, there's also stories outside of Yuma about an 8-foot skeleton with a lantern in its chest that goes through people's tents when they're camping. It doesn't hurt anybody, but it sure scares the living piss out of them.
An 8-foot tall skeleton?
With this broken rib cage, and there's a old style late 1800s lantern embedded in his chest, and he pulls people's stuff out of their backpacks and duffel bags and rucksacks and
I've
things
never
like that.
heard of that before.
Yeah, that was big. That story was big in the 80s. I don't know if it actually happened, but that story was big in the 80s. You don't hear about it now so much. You don't hear about, what was it, Anna's Cafe on Ash in Tempe, about there would be a family that would sit at the table, and when the waitress would walk up to them and go, "Hi, I didn't see you guys walk in. What can I get for that?" And they would disappear after they would turn
Stardust Ranch.
That's it.
That sounds familiar, yeah. Well, Stardust.
It was
it.
the Ghost Adventures TV episode.
Yeah.
There's no Wikipedia entry on it. Interesting. The only thing I was able to find was a reference to a book and a documentary. So there's not much information on the webs without digging much deeper, which I'm not going to
it was
do
a
right
Ghost
now.
Adventures episode. I remember that now.
You also have to remember
Yeah.
that the Native Americans don't like to share their beliefs with us because, well,
We're stupid.
God, we make very bad choices. They don't go out during an eclipse. And that's kind of good
And
advice.
look at the sun.
Well, you're talking about two dimensions that are crossing over one another. Why would you want to be outside and invite what's ever out there into your world, into your life, into your family, into your friends? It's a very protection first, but still be curious kind of philosophy. Well, no, I mean, even for Jerome, obviously, Canyon de Chelly, but there's a lot of places that are serene during the day and absolutely hellish at night. You know, Tombstone, all the other, there's been...
Hey, is that cafe still there? Is that cafe still there, Bill?
Which cafe?
The one you were just talking about on app in Tempe.
I don't know. I have to find out. The haunted cafe.
Where was it at before?
It's like on Ash and something else by the railroad tracks. There was a family, and they would sit down, and when the people would walk, the waitresses would walk up to get their drink orders, they would disappear. It was like a mom, dad, a little boy, and a little girl.
I don't think there's a... If it's down by the tracks, I don't think that particular place is there anymore.
I don't think so.
If it was, it's something else now.
Tempe has changed so much in the last 40 years. It's unrecognizable.
I know. I live right down in the heart of it.
So are you talking down like by like your middle of Tempe downtown?
No.
I live 2 miles from down. I live 2 miles from the campus. I live at Southern and Mill.
This
I can
place,
see the fireworks at Sun Devil Stadium when they have football games on Saturday nights.
this place is like, I want to say 5th and Ash, but I don't know if that's right. But
Oh,
it's right by the railroad tracks.
used to be
and then,
Asher House.
I think so. And it was like
Asher
a
House is
cafe.
gone.
It's a cafe, and upstairs they had an attic, and all of the staff said they heard constant noise in the attic, and they would go up there 6 or 7 times a day and night, and there would be nothing. It's storage, but you would hear running back and forth, and
We,
boxes being moved, and stuff sliding.
I ran into that in Glendale, and I don't know if it's still there. Years ago, I knew a couple that ran a German restaurant in downtown Glendale, House Murphy. It might still be there. But out in the back, they had a shed upstairs, and none of the employees would go up there after dark because they said, things moved around. I went up there after dark because they dared me to and didn't find anything. But,
Some of us are
That
more
doesn't mean it
sensitive.
wasn't.
It doesn't mean it wasn't there. It just means that you didn't pick up on it. I kept telling them
But it didn't. Yeah, it would. I don't think I was intimidated by it.
Yeah.
So I think things like that feed on fear.
Sometimes.
So if you,
Well, I kept telling them, I'm like, when we worked when Toys R Us was still Toys R Us at the 101 in Indian Bend, I'm like, there's something dark here. Like, I've seen it move, and I can feel it, and I can't stop staring at the baby area where, like, the mattresses are all stacked up. There's something standing above the mattresses, and it's like a cloaked figure. And it's here all the time. It's bad, but it doesn't do anything. It's just watching. I'm getting chills just talking about it because I'm listening to my music. I'm, da 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 da, and then all of a sudden across the store, and it's not like it like appeared next to me. Hi, Bill. How you doing? It just let me know that it was there when my mind was not focused on finding. Kris, the best mind set for hunting the paranormal is to keep your mind completely blank. That's when you notice that's when you notice the most things. So I've got my earphones on. My daughter's over there. Scott is over there. Chip is over there. Different aisles. We're opening boxes and putting toys on shelves. When you're doing this for a couple hours, your mind becomes clear and automatic. And that's when you start picking up on stuff. And that's when I would see and hear this thing moving around, even though I had headphones on. And it never talked or, said anyone's name or anything, but it let us know that it was there. And all of the staff, but then again, this is also haunted house training, they would not walk around in the dark. I was one of the few that was the only one that would walk to the back of the building to flip the breakers to turn on all the lights. Because it's a creepy building. But it's filled with toys!
But it's got toys!
toys aren't creepy at all.
No, not at all.
Oh,
Most
my master.
most malls are haunted, most hotels, most hospitals. Best part about Ghost is on the subway, and then when he's at the hospital, when he's with his body, and the old Jewish guy comes up to him. So, are you here? I'm waiting for my wife. Oh, yeah, you got shot. I'm so sorry, Because that's kind of what it's like. They're stuck. They're stuck in between worlds. They haven't been picked up and, put
Now,
back
one of
into
my
the system.
favorite authors, a gentleman by the name of Tim Powers, he writes historic and modern fantasy fiction that's grounded in the real world. And
Really?
in his world, ghosts are not the souls of people left behind, but they are echoes of the people and can sometimes be trapped in objects or in places, and by accretion, um, start taking on solid form. But the ghost itself is not the person it was. It's just a reflection left behind when the person passes.
Wow.
And you know, the ghost.
Wait.
The ghosts can be
Tortured and
channeled.
What's the name of this series?
It's not one series. It's just the way the ghosts work in all of his series. He wrote some of the novels he has written on Stranger Tides, which was adapted into a Pirates of the Caribbean movie, but was not a Pirates of the Caribbean. It was a pirate story, but not a Pirates of the Caribbean story. It was a pirate story about Blackbeard trying to find the river Styx.
Oh, God, no. Let him do. We don't want Blackbeard around. He's a terrible
He also
person.
wrote a novel called The Anubis Gates about a set of gates that allowed time travel.
Yeah, the Mummy really tainted Anubis. That's not... No, Anubis does not
No,
have
this
an
was
army.
way before.
What the fuck? He talks to you about...
This was way before the Mummy.
The Mummy.
But he
wrote
a series
shows you say, this is your life, and this is what you did. Sorry.
I'm trying to think. He wrote several series of books, and ghosts were never the main part of the series.
Necroscope?
But it was no. He's written a couple of different trilogies that all take place in the world, but they're all very how can I say it? Very, very grounded. It doesn't feel like you're reading a fantasy novel until the fantastic things start happening. And
Gotcha.
then there's usually the most recent novel he wrote was, what was it? I forget the name of it, but it, basically a fictional retelling of the Bronte family, Wuthering Heights and all of that. Only the youngest, the brother, it was about their struggle with lycanthropy. Oh, My Brother's Keeper was, I think, the name of the book.
Well, that sounds
and he was infected with lycanthropy at a young age. And, it's basically at one point in the past, the master werewolf got put down and basically buried under a church. And a group of people come along and raise him back up. And it's...
Send
He's
me his
also,
name.
Tim Powers.
Okay.
Tim
Sounds
Powers.
familiar here.
Tim Powers.
Who wrote Necroscope? Which is, I remember.
I don't know. That doesn't
Brian
sound
Lumley.
Well, what?
Brian Lumley.
Brian Lumley. Okay, you are.
Yeah, Brian Lumley wrote Frisco.
Another book that Tim Powers wrote was, and the one I would recommend you start with is called Declare. And it's about the Cold War and how Russia gained its power by basically in the 1930s going into a remote part of Turkey up onto Mount Ararat and binding a genie to the Soviet Union. And it's about a group of British intelligence officers trying to destroy this genie. And when they finally do at the end of the book, that's what causes the Berlin Wall to fall. Because Russia had only existed because they had bound this extra-dimensional entity and were forcing it to do their bidding.
Expiration date down. Oh, he's got a lot of books.
He's got a lot of books.
Earthquake, weather, forged perspectives.
What was the
stolen skies?
Which one's the one you just did?
The one I just described was called Declare.
Here's My Brother's Keeper, the one you were talking about.
That was the most recent one.
One.
He's also got a couple of his take on vampires is different too. The Stress of Her Regard was a very good vampire story. And
Hide Me Among the Graves.
Hide Me Among the Graves is a sequel to that.
3 Days to Never, Declare, Last Call, On Stranger Tides. He has won the Philip K. Dick Hold on, he's won the Philip K. Dick Memorial Award twice.
Oh, damn.
You don't need
He's
any
my
more.
favorite modern author.
That's like Weird Al Yankovic doing your song, the Philip K. Dick Award. Is that accurate?
Now, I will say that his books tend to jump around Quentin Tarantino style and can be confusing. So you just have to stick with them and kind of fall together, yes.
He's
Like I said, he can be
old.
difficult to read, so he might not be for everybody. But
Okay. Out for the night because I need to do some stuff.
Gotcha.
But my last show on Saturday, 10 to 3 at Tempe Library, Tempe FanCon.
This coming Saturday.
This coming Saturday, the
where's
31st.
Tempe FanCon?
Tempe FanCon. 31st.
Where's
Tempe
that?
FanCon. At the Tempe Library, rural and southern.
Yep, that's a mile from my house.
Hey,
Yep.
there you go.
Oh, it was where I started 10 years ago, and it's going to be where I end.
Well, I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would love it if you guys came out.
I should have come out to your last one. I'm going to be out at Ren Fair this weekend, so
Bill,
I will not
you get a
be
pass.
able to. Well,
You get a pass.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
But you guys,
remember to make a video. Yeah, absolutely.
I will.
You have a good night. Thank you very much for
All right.
joining us, Kris. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Good night. Have a good night.
Absolutely. No, that
And
that
then there were
sounds
two.
like aren't there always at least two? Tim Powers. I'll have to check it out.
He's my favorite modern author.
Oh,
My other two favorite authors are Robert E. Howard and Edgar Allan Poe.
Edgar Allan Poe. I like Eddings. Joel Rosenberg is pretty good.
David Eddings is good. I don't think I've read any Rosenberg.
Guardians of the Flame series, where college students are playing D&D, and
I read the first book and wasn't able to get my hands on any of the others.
Oh, I've got
So I read the first book of Guardians of the Flame.
Great book. Really good. Let me see. I like R.A. Salvatore's style, but he tends to, because he is a literary traditionist and wanted to be a journalist, he tends to dwell a bit, well, from what I've read, on the classic tropes, which I do enjoy, but I have the Clerics, the first book of the Clerics Canticle, and the first book
I read
of
the whole Cleric Canticle. It was fun. His books are fun, but I wouldn't say that they're terribly deep, but they were never meant to be.
No, and thank you for saying that first.
They're not groundbreaking either. But then, how many Mac Bolan novels did I read?
Yeah.
And, all good stuff.
Good.
Sometimes you want, just cheap fiction.
First we got Beowulf and Ivanhoe and things like that until Lord of the Rings comes along, and that becomes the standard. But that's not fair, because
I'm not even sure, because there are some things that predated Lord of the Rings that,
Morgan.
Conan predates Lord of the Rings.
Yes, it does.
And it set a different standard for
fantasy.
For fantasy. And, D&D, a lot of people say, well, D&D was based on Lord of the Rings. Really, no, it wasn't. It was more...
Conan and Moorcock.
The fiction of Jack Vance.
Yeah.
Jack Vance was the one that introduced the magic system that D&D uses now, where you have spell slots and you have to memorize your spells and they get wiped from your memory when you use them, etc. That's why it's called Vancian magic.
I did not know that. The Vancian magic part.
Yes, that all comes from the science fiction fantasy writer Jack Vance.
the best thing about Dungeons and Dragons is it's playing house with rules. It's playing cops and robbers with rules.
That's how I describe it
Cowboys
to
and
people.
Indians
Is if
with
you played
rules
Cowboys and Indians or Cops and Robbers or War as a kid,
and house.
you were role playing. This just adds a level of structure to it, so that bang, I shot you. No, you didn't. Yes, I did. A 16 hits you.
Dungeons and Dragons allows bureaucrats to enjoy make-believe. And it really does, because it's still pretend, but here's all these rules. There's rules? Yes, there's rules,
Yes,
and it's
Dungeons
pretend.
and Dragons
There's
allows
pretend.
you to live out your fantasies, like getting 8 hours of sleep, having money.
Money! I remember having money long... Anyway, but that is fantastically true. The great is the escapism, because it's a choose-your-own-adventure book that you get to decide which page you want to turn to, not the book telling you which page you can turn to. And there's a lot of freedom and escapism in that. And it's the same as the modern day playing a video game, making up a fake persona on one of the social media things and reinventing yourself.
I've done forum style writing role play where somebody will write an entry and then you write a response entry and then back and forth. We used to do it on Twitter.
Really?
We used to do vampire role play on Twitter. Yes, back and forth with each other.
That's awesome.
Because like I said, you role play, you don't need dice. You don't need a pen and paper. Honestly, any game, and I've heard arguments with 3rd edition and then 4th edition and then 5th edition D&D that, and other games, it nerfs your role playing. No, it doesn't. You don't even need those games. You could play Monopoly and role play your piece.
You really could.
You really
You're
could.
the Scotty dog. You're the shoe. Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah, but you can add role play to anything, and you can role play without a game. It is,
Yeah.
I've played in games where, everything was just verbal and it was a game master just arbitrarily. We ran this one called the revenge scenario where basically, all right, you are you. Here's a piece of paper. Write down 5 things that you have. Now we're going to role play you getting revenge on somebody.
Here we go. It's true. I mean, I've lost track of how many games I've played. I just know the ones that I haven't played yet, if that makes sense.
I've played so many role-playing games, I couldn't probably name them all. Our group was one of those. A new role-playing game comes out, somebody's going to get a copy of it, and we're going to try it.
Hey, did you see this? It was only $30, so I bought... Hey, little guy. Okay, I'm trying to get the new kitten to come over. Ruckus. I have a
You named your
coworker.
cat Ruckus?
Well, you know how you get a pet and a name?
Is it an orange tabby?
Almost. He's a black and gray tabby with brown and white.
Say if he is an orange cat named Ruckus, you're going to come home to a crater one day.
Uh-oh. Get out of there. I forgot I left cheese in the... Uh-oh. Did I unplug myself? No, I'm good.
Nope, I hear you.
There's American cheese in that bag that has remnants of a sandwich in it. My friend at work, Kim, has a daughter and a granddaughter, and they had Mr. Wiggles, and they couldn't take care of Mr. Wiggles. We brought Mr. Wiggles home. And then shortly after that, God damn it, Ruckus. Get out of the bag, you little lunatic.
Snatch him up and bring him on camera.
Oh,
we want to see him.
I'm going to. Oh, he is adorable. I thought he was going to die when I brought him home. I was very worried. That's why I didn't make a big deal about him, because I didn't want to make a big deal about him and then be like, So Kim lives in the apartment. She's got a dog now that she needs to find a home for. That one of the other neighbors like, stop finding animals in your apartment complex. I can't take any more cats. There's 6 here now. That's it. 4-bedroom house, 6 cats is the limit. 8 was too many. So Ruckus was upstairs, and they moved out, and they left this poor little guy behind in a locked apartment. Ruckus! Come here, buddy. I'll put the bag on the floor, and then he's bound and determined to come and get the American cheese that's on, like, it's like this much. You know, it's like the end of a bread crust. I didn't finish.
My late cat Flag, he loved bread. I don't know why, but he loved bread. If I left a crust, like one bite of a cheeseburger left in the bottom of a McDonald's bag, he'd go in that bag because he wanted the bun.
That's
he could
so
care
funny.
less about the burger. He wanted the bun.
Venus. Go ahead, sorry. He wanted the bun. That's too funny.
We found a half-eaten pack of saltine crackers under the couch that he had, I guess, one night snatched off the kitchen counter and dragged away. And one night we're sitting on our couch and we hear this crinkle, crinkle, crunch, crinkle, crunch, 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 crinkle, crunch. Like, what is that? And so we look and he's like, you know, up
like
under there. It was a futon couch, so you could see under it.
Oh.
We look up under there and there he is with that bag of crackers, and I go to grab it from him and he snatches it and scoots farther back up under the couch. It's like, I will move this couch, you little furry bastard.
No, I need this. Go away. You're disturbing me. Go away. Can't talk, eating.
Oh, that cat was I remember he loved playing with plastic grocery bags, and one day he got his head through one of the handles on the plastic grocery bag.
Oh, no.
And he couldn't get his head out, so he started running around the house with this plastic grocery bag billowing out like a parachute around him. And like a good, responsible cat owner that my wife and I are, we sat on the couch and laughed at him for a good 5 minutes as he ran around the house.
We just turned
Before
on
I finally pinned him down and took it off. He was not happy.
The Benny Hill theme, yakety sack.
You figured we're going to let him be tormented by that bag. He didn't mess with bags much after that.
No, he's probably cured of that after. That's too
Little
funny.
fuckerhead.
Apparently, Ruckus likes bread. There was a loaf of bread on the counter, and all of a sudden, this morning, when I looked at it, parts of it were ripped away. Well, we don't have mice or rats in a house with 6 cats, so it's him. Because he was left for 4 days on his own, he resorted to
eating whatever he could.
And that instinct has not left him. So that's why he was digging through the trash.
Was one of 4 that my kids, back when they were still kids, found in a drainage culvert at the apartment complex. No mother around. And so they found homes for all the cats except the runt, which we took. I mean, he literally fit in my T-shirt pocket when we got him. And he wouldn't drink kitten milk. He insisted on solid food. And I guess because people were throwing breadcrumbs and things at him when he was when he was still feral, he got a taste for bread that he never got rid of. And he never got to be a full-size cat. You know, if you looked at him, you thought he wasn't full grown because he never got full size. He was just a little petite guy.
I have Venus. She looks like she's 6 months old, but she's going to be 14 this year. So she's in kidney failure, so it's a.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
It's a countdown.
Happened with us. Yeah, it's
I've had her since she was a couple months old, so it really sucks. But thank you, I appreciate it. It's the worst part of pet owning is saying goodbye.
Done it enough times.
There's that.
That's one thing I like about fish is fish aren't really pets. Fish are furniture.
Furniture that moves.
Furniture that moves. Because really, when a fish dies, you scoop it out, you flush it down the toilet. You go get another one that looks just like it. You don't even name them.
I do.
Or I
But-
did.
Or you, I do. I can't help it. I need. But the best with fish is, oh man, it's dead. God damn it. Ooh, now I can get that blue one that I wanted, or that green one, or that silver one that I.
See, I
It's only $5,
yeah.
but they would fight if I got them together. But now
I
that
always
it's dead. That's terrible, but that's the
Yeah.
way it is.
there used to be this really excellent aquarium store that no longer exists in East Phoenix called I forget what it's Phoenix Aquarium Supply or something, but the guy that ran it really knew his fish, and I'd go in there and he could tell me, all right, tell me what kind of fish you got. All right, if you got these, then you can get these, or these, but you can't get this.
Yeah. I got platies and a couple of, if you get those, they're going to eat your, oh shit, I better get them out of there then.
Well, I had a fiddler crab, and then I got a puffer fish. Crabs are the natural diet of puffer fish.
Yeah, I was going to say, don't they
So
eat
that puffer-
crabs?
Yeah, that puffer fish. I came in one day, and what was left of my crab with no legs was laying in the bottom of the tank. The puffer fish had eaten off all its legs and its eye stalks.
You'd love this crab, and meanwhile you buy this puffer fish, and the fish is like, fuck
The crab,
yeah!
I had this one big rock in the middle of my tank, and the crab used to climb up on the rock in the middle of the tank, and I don't know, it looked like he was doing crab foo or something. He had this thing that he would do with his claws.
I am
And
the
of course, it's a
master
fiddler
of-
crab, so he's got the one little claw and the one really big
Yeah.
giant claw.
He's like a He-Man character, you know?
Yeah, we call
Crab
it
man.
crab foo.
Crab foo.
Yeah, he's
doing a
his
kata.
crab foo. Actually, I think what it was is right before they molt, because crabs molt, they'll do that to loosen up their.
Probably.
Because I've come in and seen, wow, my crab is see-through. No, it was just the skin that he shed during the night.
Fish are... I've always had fish. We've always had fish since I was a kid. And in, sophomore year, chemistry, high school, I had a teacher that said the secret to happiness is having a 55-gallon tank in your living room next to your television set. Of course, this is 1988. And he said, if my wife is watching a show that I have absolutely no interest in, I just watch my fish. And if she starts to shock about the show, I just say, sorry, honey, I was watching the fish.
I had a 30-gallon display tank that was only maybe 12 inches deep by about 24 inches wide by 30 inches tall. So it was a tall display tank. And every day when I'd come home from work, I'd take a dining room chair and sit it right down in front of that tank and just sit and watch fish for 15
Relax.
minutes.
Yeah.
It was the best.
Yeah.
You could just watch fish do their whatever it is they do.
Yeah, come here, Mr. Steele. I don't have Ruckus, but Ruckus is adorable. We made a couple videos of him. Hey. Oh, Mr. Steele's gone. Fish are the best pets because they don't make noise. They don't make a mess. You clean them once a month. They're good to go.
Yeah, cleaning those big aquariums could be messy.
Well, I mean, if you do it, just gonna do twice a month, then take one day on a Sunday. It's pretty manageable. But
Well, what I did, this is a trick to make your fish grow bigger. Let's say you have a 50-gallon tank. If you're doing a water change, take half the water out and leave it that way
Put it in
for an hour or
buckets.
two
Yeah.
before you fill it back up, because it tricks the fish into thinking, all right, I'm in a smaller environment now. And then you add the water back, I'm in a bigger environment, and they go through a little growth spurt. Because the fish will grow to the size of its environment.
Yes. Oh, I had a silver dollar fish that got fucking huge because I had a 45-gallon tank.
Yeah, I bought a pacu.
Really?
I don't know if you know what a...
Yes, I do.
And he was about this big when I bought him.
Dude, they get
and
the
a pacu
size
is-
as dinner plates.
Yes, he was this big when I bought him. And a pacu is basically physiologically the same as a piranha, but they don't school. They're solitary.
Aren't they like
And
cousins
they're also
of,
not as aggressive.
aren't
But they have teeth, and I wouldn't put my hand in the tank with
fuck
him.
no? Aren't they
No,
cousins to
but yeah, when I
Oscars?
bought him,
or-
he was this big. When I had to give him away, he was this big.
I
But
believe it.
he got too big for my tank, and he kept growing after that. For all I know, the guy that I gave him to might still have him, and that was 40 years ago.
They live a while. Aren't they cousins of Oscars? Since they're related to piranha.
Possibly. But
Oscars are awesome, but they're incredibly messy. Same with our arowana. They're really cool fish, but they create an amazing amount of poop because
I
they
mostly,
eat other fish.
yes, they do.
It's like having a snake. There's so much poop.
I kept-
well, it eats other animals.
Brackish water tanks, cichlids.
Oscars, cichlids, they're all awesome, but it's a lot of maintenance, twice as much as
Yes.
getting a tank of platies or neons or some of
Yeah,
the
running a
other
brackish
guppies or-
tank sucks because you have to descale it. Brackish water being slightly salinated.
Yeah.
And so, of course, at the top, you get salt crust that you have to go in
Constantly.
and, yes. But, yes.
I do love fish, but now that I have cats, we're just doing cats.
Yeah.
Cats are amazing, and I
Well,
love
my
them.
cats like to fish in my fish tanks.
There you go. That's why no fish or birds or lizards anymore. Well, we
The
had.
cats can't help it. They're little murder machines.
They really are. They cannot deny the nature that created them. And I've done rodents and reptiles and avian and dogs, and the only thing we never raised was monkeys and cats. That was it. We raised everything else. No sugar gliders, no monkeys. We had ferrets, we had guinea pigs and rats
I
and
had a
mice
ferret
and
that I adopted from my sister, and I only had it a couple of months before I had to give it up because I found out that I am really allergic to ferret musk and started breaking out in nasty welts everywhere. Went to the doctor, and they're like, "This is an animal musk allergy." It's like, okay, ferret, gotta go.
When I first met Paul, he had 2 ferrets and a cichlid
Yeah.
in his room in his parents' house. A giant 65-gallon tank. I don't know if you remember that.
Yes.
Yeah,
You
Jack
remember
Dempsey.
that? Yes.
Do I remember?
When he moved out of his parents' house, he bought or was buying his aunt's house around the corner. Do you remember that?
I remember
Or maybe
that,
that was
yeah.
before. Yeah, I was his first roommate then.
Oh, wait, that I meet him after he lives with you, and then I think he meets Diana,
Yeah,
and then they
I
break
think
up,
maybe
and
he
then
goes.
back.
He goes back to his parents.
That's
for a
when
while.
I meet him.
Okay. Yeah.
Because I meet him through E. Paul Fisher and Sam Riggs. I don't know if you know either one of those names, but they're Ren Fair people and Bedlam.
No, I probably have met them because I used to be very involved in the science fiction fandom back in the day, and the SCA and the Ren Fair and the science fiction fandom are all cross-pollinated.
Yeah.
So I used to know a lot of people that if I saw them, I'd probably recognize their face.
They're like, yeah, I know you. That's the biggest curse of humanity. Haven't we met? Do I know you? Your face is really familiar, and I'm trying to place where I know you from, but it's driving me fucking
I've
crazy
had
right
people
now.
come up and say, that, I think I met you before. I know somebody that looks just like you. It's like, oh, poor guy.
That poor cursed bastard. Like the Simpsons, the captain, sea captain. Gar, I'm not attractive. I love that. I've met you before. Well, I've met thousands of people. I used to do Ren Fair and haunted houses. You did Ren Fair? I probably made fun of you, yes. Nothing personal. Is in the Don Rickles sense of making fun of you. Though you probably got that from SCA.
Some of it.
Well,
I was involved in science fiction and conventions and gaming long before the SCA. I didn't join the SCA till I got back out of the Army in 87, 88, 89.
really?
Yeah.
Sam was in the SCA too. She had spiked
Who?
armor. Sam Riggs, Paul's ex-girlfriend. Oh, play some.
I probably know her then. But we were never, our group was never serious SCA. We didn't field fighters and we didn't do all the arts and fair and go to court and all that shit. No, we were rowdy partying pirates
Yeah.
who kind of existed on the fringes. We only went to the war to party. And so
It was
we
a party.
never took it seriously. We just had fun.
I did all the research. I try to take Ren Fair seriously, but once you get out there and you start joking around with people, that all goes out the window.
Yeah.
Or even Frenchie's like, you got to stay in character. I'm like, well, I'll try.
It's like the only thing I didn't like about the SCA is that, there were some people that, if you weren't serious about it, you shouldn't even be here.
Ortho Nazis, we used to call them.
Yes. I would
Authenticity
remind you that
Nazis.
this is not the society of compulsive authenticity.
Yeah.
This is the romantic. This is how we imagine the Middle Ages. This is our weekend at,
Yeah. That belt is not period. They did not have that buckles in the... It's Ren Fair. This is an amusement park. I really don't think the manager cares. Go ask him. And then sure enough, you never would hear another thing about
That
it.
belt isn't authentic. How do you know? Were you there?
So you're a time traveler or a vampire or... Are you a Highlander? Do you know Connor McLeod?
There can be only one.
There could be only one. Oh, God. Fucking people. No,
we were the... At war, we were the people... We always camped way out on the edge because we were the people nobody else wanted to camp next to. But we were always the people who wanted... We want to go party. You want a party? That camp will have a party. I remember one year it rained the whole war, the whole weekend.
Yeah.
And we had dug a big fire pit and we had been, we had brought out 2 truckloads of pallets because me and another guy had worked at a warehouse and we got pallets for firewood. And we had set up stacks of them as like,
Hopeful.
walkways between the tents and out to the fire.
Oh, wow.
And I remember one time we put like 14 pallets, stacked them up and lit that on fire.
Hey.
Wood hinge.
Wood
and-
hinge.
Oh, it dried up all the water around for about an hour.
Holy shit.
And that was the last year they allowed ground fires at Estrella Mountain Park because
Because
the
of your
following
14
summer we caught the root system on fire.
Oh.
We don't know that it was us, but that summer several trees in the park burst into flames because the root system was on fire from the war in February. We were probably one of the contributors to that.
Oh,
That was why for the next several years they didn't allow the SCA at that park. That's why they ended up out at Schnepp Farms and out in that mud hole by Florence.
Yeah.
That was the worst ever.
Ren Fair for me is a weird time period because it's 91 to 2015 and now back in 2026. So 1991, the SCA is out there. They're mercenaries in the service of the king. and it isn't like it is today, and there's bonfires all night. And it isn't until the next couple of years that I'd urge you to join us, but we only have like 6 minutes left. Or, unless you want to end it now, Rob, it's up to you. It's just you and
No,
me.
we'll stretch it all the way out.
Stretch it out for another 6
I'm a
minutes.
stickler for time. If it goes till 8 o'clock, then it goes till 8 o'clock.
Huh? He is a head floating in space. Well, yeah. Can you grab Ruckus? Rob wanted to take a look at him. He came up here on the counter, but I went to grab him and he took off. So that was. He's. Give you a. So. Autographed Kids in the Hall poster by all 5 guys. They did a concert or a tour way back when. But I have like a oak counter that my dad modified long ago. And Ruckus was on the end, and he came all the way up, and I almost got him, and then he took off. So I was like, God damn it. Little monkey. So hopefully Clay can grab a hold of him, and you guys can take a look at him. He's got tall white boots. In fact, I was calling him Captain White Boots, and I don't know the French. La Capitaine, c'est blanques, I don't know the word for boots. And he had 6 different names, and I'm like, Clay was throwing around different names. And I'm like, dude, honestly, since he got here, the main name that's been echoing around in the back of my head is Ruckus. He's Little Ruckus. He's a rap star. Can't find him. Is he in the cat tree? Because he absolutely loves the cat tree.
Yes, we name our cats after villains. My elder cat passed away many years ago. He was Shere Khan. He was big, he was fluffy, and he was scared of everything. And then our second cat, the younger one that also passed away a couple of years ago, his name was Randall Flagg.
Ruckus is scratchy. Clay didn't want to sacrifice his flesh for our fans. Like and subscribe. He didn't want to bleed for Ruckus. Don't worry, we'll get video. Right? He's awesome. He's following everybody and jumping on them and staring at them, and it's just dry. Him and Wiggles are hanging out, and it's like Patrick and SpongeBob. It's really funny. Because you got this little tiny cat who's, what is he, maybe like 8 pounds? Maybe. He's not even a year old yet. Like, we need to get him fixed now because but it turns out that Kim said that his mom lives at the complex, so maybe the constant, there's Steel right there. Maybe the constant calling is for mommy, not for neutering.
Yeah.
Because he is kind of young. But he's trying. He's fitting in pretty good. Then the other night I walked into the laundry room and Wiggles, who's like 20 pounds, is all stretched out, relaxing, and on top of him is Ruckus, biting him in the neck. Like, oh, right there. That's the spot. Okay, down a little. It's like, you think
he completely doesn't care.
Yeah, like it's like, it was like a lion cub fighting, yeah.
I remember a cartoon where a little guy threatened to hit a big guy, and the big guy said, "If you hit me and I find out about it, I'm going to be really mad."
If I find out about it. There's the Warner Brothers cartoon with Sylvester the cat, and Tweety Bird is not involved at all, and it all happens out on the street, and there's an escaped panther, a black panther. Come on, Spike, what are we going to do today, Spike? Come on, Spike, you're the best, Spike, you're the biggest guy. Shut up. And he smacks the little dog around. Do you remember that one? That's totally what it's like. I love him. And Ruckus he's not even one, I would say. He's that little. But we know, and he's been microchipped, that Mr. Wiggles is, what, 2 or 3 years old? Two or three, so they're perfect to hang out. I mean, he's not a kitten. Dear God, he's baby Huey if he is. Because he's 20 pounds, and Wiggles has attacked me twice, but only in a situation where all the other cats were fighting, and he just, like, appeared and attacked the biggest thing that was in the area, which just happened to be me. Twice. And after being hit by him, god damn, he's like the Arnold Schwarzenegger of cats. He's like Wolfgar from the Dark Elf series. I'm glad he hit me instead of one of the other cats, because besides the claws, okay, yeah, but does your cat scratch? No, he punches. It's enough, trust me. Ow! Yeah, it is. Damn. So, yeah. Other than that, he's a big
We have reached pumpkin hour.
Oh, we have. Oh, it's 8. Thank you very much for watching. You could have watched anybody, but you decided to watch us, and you love playing video games while we're Raps Waxotic. That's it, to talk about nothing for
something.
Thank you. We are the
blabber. Blabber.
Blah, 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 blah. Thank you. Like and subscribe. We are the Supreme Council of the Master Geeks Lodge. So
and we will be back next week.
And many, many more to come. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Do you have any plugs?
I do not.
There's no girl gaming thing coming up for the wife?
No, that's we've got some things on the fire, but nothing has been hammered out yet.
Right on. We've got more subscribers. Thank you for subscribing. Clay's got more subscribers. Right on, all of us. Go see Kris this weekend if you can't make it out to the Renaissance Festival, which starts this weekend, all the way till, I think it's March 28th. I can't remember. Almost April. It's 2 months. It's about 2 months. But thank you, and have a great night, dude. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and see you very soon.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime.
And good night, Twitch.
Good night, Twitch. Good night, Twitch. Good night, Moon. Children, I told you about the scooching.
And I am off.